Good evening, everybody. How are y'all doing on this fabulous Friday night? How we doing? Let me get my chat pulled up here. All right. Mm. Okay, now we're good. Sorry. Welcome into my mod team. Thank you for coming back in with me tonight. Butterfly gets to be with us tonight. So good to see you, Miss Ma'am. Forrest is here. Rachel is here. Morris Dog Mom, welcome in. How are you, Leva? Good to see you. Hello, Kitty. How are you doing? Hello, Lucky Kitty. All right, guys. So how'd y'all do this evening? Did y'all get off and go get a rest? Did Simi fall asleep and not wake up? I don't know where she's at. She might be along. She may come in. Great. Sound is good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I got off my live earlier and went to go chill out for a little bit. Guys, some days it's like a slow news day, and some days it just will not stop. So, a couple things happened since we got off our live earlier. Something that is happening in just a few minutes. I don't know what it's about or what the topic will. I know the topic will be about, but I don't know. Sebastian Rogers' father is scheduled to go live, I think, in a minute, but I don't think he has yet. I don't really know what that's about. Considering that lawsuit and all that. Anyway, we'll keep our eye on that situation. But did y'all hear the Pima County Sheriff released the Nancy Guthrie ransom notes? Y'all seen the news on that? Yeah, this is the third time today I'm live. I got to get some things in because we're covering the trial for the Clancy trial, so it's hard. We have to keep up with our other stuff as well. So with David's preliminary hearing happening at the same, all week at the same time, it's a madhouse. And now other things are popping off in the news. The Koberger stuff was breaking, and yeah, that's the gift that won't stop giving right at the moment. Hang on, guys. I want it like that. We need to see it. Ugh. Okay, I like that. Less intrusive. I don't like all that. Okay. You saw it's all messy in Tucson. What's messy in Tucson? The ransom letters? I don't know what's going on in Tucson. I'm trying to stay out of there. I hear there's a lot on the streets going on YouTube streets, probably pertaining what to you. I don't know exactly what you mean. Messy in Tucson. But the sheriffs did so. Pima County Sheriff's Department did release the Nancy Guthrie ransom letters, first and second one. They may or may not have accidentally released them first without redacting a Bitcoin address, and might have took them back and then put them back out with redactions. Some people may have gotten copies of the unredacteds. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Here's your first one. The investigation. Oh, it's been messy from day one. We've covered it from day one here. We've got a bunch of shows in the playlist. And these little letters that I love to talk about that nobody ever wanted to talk about for a long time with me keep rearing their ugly little heads. They just won't go away. Which reminds me, my favorite doctor, or not, did an interview with Brian Enton, and sir, oh my God. All right. We'll get to him later, maybe, if he's worth my time. Actually, never mind. So this is the first one, guys. Now remember, this is not the TMZ notes, south of the border guy notes, all the ones that came in late to the game to TMZ. I know a guy who knows a guy who's south of the border. We saw shit on February 11th. We're not talking about those letters at all. I don't even want to discuss those letters ever again. Because the first two letters were always separate, right? They didn't go to TMZ. This one did, but 12 hours after it went to KOLD. So always keep that in mind when you're trying to evaluate the situation. Did you get it for us? The notification, is he live? Okay, we'll check it. We'll keep an eye. If it ends later, we might go see what it was about. Okay, so it says to KOLD News Desk. And there's two things I noticed. Actually, I can't. Never mind. This is redacted. I forgot. Never mind. Um, mm, I'll just tell you. See where it says please enter your birth date? How it's redacted right there. Second letter. Enter your birth date. It's redacted right there. Each letter, literally, they have different birthdays on them, but the Bitcoin address is the same. Interesting note that I noted. All right. Hello, Savannah. It reads, name is redacted, email address redacted. Of course, says subject news tip, and it says question or comment, and it starts, hello, Savannah. So they didn't say, hey, we're kidnappers. On behalf of us, could you tell Savannah this? It just goes into, hello, Savannah. We have your mother, Nancy. She is safe but scared. She will be held for ransom, and once payment is received, she will be released unharmed. We will be holding her for a maximum of 7 days. You will need to send Bitcoin in the amount of 4 million USD before 5 p.m. on Thursday, the 5th. If payment is not received, the ransom will be increased to 6 million USD, which will need to be paid by 5 p.m. on Monday the 9th. Once payment is received at the Bitcoin address below, she will be released within 12 hours of deposit to a safe drop-off location back in Tucson. This is back in Tucson. They took her out of Tucson, or allegedly, speculating, allegedly. If payment is not received by the last deadline on Monday the 9th at 5 p.m., she will be unalived. Your mother is aware of this, and her life is in your hands. It is in the best interest for everyone to have this completed as soon as possible. You will not be able to contact me from here on out. There will be no negotiation. Do not play games. Law enforcement will not be able to help you. Now, mainstream media, what are y'all doing when y'all were in the early days reporting about what this letter said? The structure, the language, they're incredibly smart, making everybody out here think AI wrote it for them. That's pretty normal sounding to me. I see nothing about that makes me think incredibly off the charts intelligent person. It just doesn't. It's very matter of fact. That's it. That's my opinion. Hey, Indy Cindy. All right, so that was the first one, guys. And I felt like they also word saladed it to us when they were trying to tell us what it said without telling us what it said. We can return within 12 hours. It sounds like they're outside of Tucson. And if you put a circle on a map and 12, so Harvey, what are you doing? All that. What could have done with all that, not out all that? He wasn't the only one. Brianna Whitney didn't do much better in the early days either. Bless her little heart, she did come out and get better about it. All right, letter number 2. After Savannah got this one that Savannah thinks is real, and then she came out with, we received your message. We understand, blah, blah, blah. We need proof of life. Proof of life. Proof of life never came. Instead, this came. Again, redacted name, redacted email. Dear Guthrie, well, it says Guthrie family, we did not fully grasp the seriousness of her condition. We never intended to hurt her. That was not our intention. She perished shortly after she was taken. We believe it was heart-related. She is buried in nature now. Nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome. You want your family to know that. We want your family to know this, and hope you all can find peace. Now, FBI profilers are probably analyzing the fuck out of hope you all can find. Hope y'all can find, you can find, you all can find. I'm sure they're on it. We are truly sorry, it says. Again, there's nothing about that one that is extremely elaborate, and it certainly doesn't tell me that the two people, according to Dr. Gary Ricardo, that are probably in the two people he now says are the cooks, hired the goon at the door. They're the ones writing these letters, and they're mad at each other now because one wrote this letter, and then one got a conscience and wrote this letter. Oh, we got to analyze his analysis. What do y'all think about the letters? Still bogus? Nothing? It's a nothing burger. Possibility? Maybe? Sort of? Kind of? Don't care? What are we doing? What do y'all think? Y'all know how I feel about these letters. They're always on the table and always were, and they always will be till somebody's incarcerated for taking Miss Nancy out of her home in the dead of night for some random no reason. Dr. Johnny, that dude can't take I'm so sick of him. I'm so sick of you, Dr. John, your little lizard tongue, wreaking havoc out here on these streets. You don't see any signs of someone being mad. Well, they're not mad at the Guthries. They're not mad at the cops. They're mad at each other. This one and that one are mad at each other, according to Dr. Gary, because that one was probably Tom, and this one was Annie. And now Tom's mad at Annie because she did that, and Annie's scared of Tom because he did that. Do I got that right so far, Dr. Gary? I'm pretty sure that's how you look at it. What about this guy, Dr. Gary? Anyway, what about you, Guy? Hey, Guy, hey. All right, yeah, guys, so there you go. They've been released. They don't seem very convincing. You know what's missing? Do y'all know what's missing from these letters? Where's the rest of the notes, Sheriff? Do y'all know what's missing? First one's not rambling, not in my opinion. But do y'all know what's missing from the letters? It's supposed to be in the letter. Bing bong, Rachel. Rachel coming in hot for the win. What about it, Rachel, right? Where's the talk about this busted up light out back? Whoops. The Bitcoin talk's in there. It says it's in there. Ass right in there for the Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Send Bitcoin. It does not mention a busted floodlight, and it does not mention an Apple Watch on the floor near the bed. And it's supposed to, isn't it? Am I remembering that right, Rachel? I need to go to Twitter and call that out, don't I? Yeah, he doesn't. There's no mention of the floodlight in this letter, y'all, or an Apple Watch on the floor, or medication, or anything. We did not fully grasp the seriousness of her physical condition. We never intended to hurt her. This was not our intention. She perished shortly after she was taken. We believe it was heart related. She is buried in nature now. Nothing could have done. Nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome. We have your mother, Nancy. Hello, Savannah. We have your mother, Nancy. She is safe but scared. She will be held for ransom, and once payment is received, she will be released unharmed. We will be holding her for a maximum of 7 days. You need to send Bitcoin in the amount of 4 million USD before 5 p.m. on Thursday, the 5th. If payment is not received, the ransom will be to 6 million USD, which will need to be paid by the 5th of Monday, the 9th. Once received, the Bitcoin address below you she'll be released in 12 hours. Safe drop-off location, Tucson. Payment not received. Deadline on Monday. Your mother's aware. Life is in your hands. Best interest for everyone to have completed as soon as possible. You will not be able to contact me from here out. There will be no negotiation. Do not play games. Law enforcement will not be able to help you. Oh, wait, wait, wait. There it is. I didn't finish it on the bottom. Are y'all trying to tell me that? Thank you. I see it now. Hello, Kitty. Hello's like, look, lady, it's right there. It pays to read it all, don't it? She had a smartwatch on the floor. You know why? Because I was looking at different ones earlier without redactions, and yeah, that's why. My bad. Thank y'all. She had a smartwatch on the floor of the foot of her bed and the white floodlight. Did I take that picture down already? Remember there was a white one, guys, the silver one. I kept saying there. Hang on, there's a. And everybody's like, oh, they could have seen that and all the footage and all that, right? Remember all the footage, everybody said they could have seen it from there. And everybody was saying the mention of the white watch would have been common knowledge from photos of Nancy, but how would they know that she had a smart watch on the floor at the foot of her bed? That's pretty distinct. Rachel's like, okay, right, Rachel? Rachel's like, don't blame me. I'm following what Salty said. Oh gosh, Rachel, we're in trouble tonight. It's been a long week. Phew, okay. Huh. So the white floodlight, I'm not really sure when those photos came out to the public where we could see them, if that was late in the day on Monday or if it was Tuesday before we realized this light situation and this had already come in. Because remember, the reporters were like, oh, we were allowed on the property, we just weren't allowed to go around back yet. Okay, so we'll scrap the floodlight because I'm on the fence with that myself, but hard to miss the watch on the floor thing, right? So now if you're the cops or you're the FBI, because this kind of note comes in, the FBI has to look. I'm shocked that, oh, Sheriff Nanos, did you get mad at Patel and release this letter? Because when a ransom note enters the picture, it's all the FBI. Knock, knock, Nanos. Oh boy. We don't care. We got the ransom letters. Huh. Your phone died. Don't what Indy. It does matter. It was a good catch, Rachel. Okay. Well, maybe I don't know if someone's going to recognize the writing style. Like the Ted Kaczynski manuscript, where his brother's like, "Hey, wait a minute, I think that's my brother," right? I don't know if anybody's going to get there with this because it sounds pretty like a very formal type thing. There's no indication to me of who they could be, where they could be. Maybe the way they use the phrase of some words, maybe an FBI profiler can pick out what region they're from, right? But who's to even say that this isn't translated for somebody from a foreign country, right? And they wrote it out their way, and then this is the translation. Who knows? Hey, Shaboogies, welcome in. Welcome in. So that's that, y'all. So yeah, sheriff released the letters. And like I said, they got released apparently without redactions. So the Bitcoin address, which the Bitcoin address was out there really, people were already looking at it, but now it's really, really out there, I think. And I've already, anyway, if anything happens to that Bitcoin wallet, we'll know about it. Okay. That's all I need to say about that. Now, y'all know that we cover the Idaho 4 case here. We've been covering what's been going on with Bryan Kohberger's latest post-conviction relief filing. We reviewed Brent Turvey's interviews over there at the Custody Queens. We reviewed Cy Ray's interview over at the Custody Queens. We reviewed Cy Ray's interview with Jesse Weber. And then, oh boy, did we review Brian Enton's big interview with Cy Ray and the Gonzalez family. And there was a lot to unpack there that we're still unpacking it, actually. Deanne, welcome in. Skin Row, hey, how are you? Sorry, we left I don't know. Well, people can, people can say what they feel how they want. If they're fake because they went to Harvey Levin, they're fake. Somebody took Miss Nancy out of that house, and I don't think it was Annie or Tom at this point. I don't know who it was. Stalker, Epstein files people. I don't know. A random person walking through the neighborhood that night and go, oh, look, I followed the javelinas here. We may never know, honestly. Okay. Now, more news of the day. Y'all know I was going to come on here and I was going to critique Aspen Connor's work in the Idaho 4 case because he said a little something that it was like, excuse me, sir, we have to discuss this. Since that happened earlier, that I was telling you guys about, more news has popped off. It's not really news. It's just something that's been made publicly available that I'm not shocked about. I will never be in frozen shock phase when it comes to the Idaho 4 case. Never, ever. Give me what you got. You will not shock me, nor surprise me, or trigger me. Might activate me a little bit. Depends what you're doing. But there's some information out there now, and I'm not mad about it. People may be surprised because I'm like, whatever, people can talk. It's freedom of speech and all the things. And we can do and say who we want to talk to and do whatever we do. Now, y'all remember back at the sentencing for Bryan Kohberger, there was this image on the desk, right? And it was this black heart image. And everyone's like, oh my God, the creepy black heart. Who did that? Did he do that? He drew his own heart. I mean, it was a million things out there, right? And it turns out that after the sentencing, his sister, Melissa Kohberger, did an interview with Mike Baker over there at the New York Times. And she said she drew the heart. And she drew it so that Brian would remember, the female love in his lives, his female love, and we're here for you, Brian, and we love you. So it was drawn by his sister and given to him. Now, she did do a big interview with Mike Baker like a while back, right? Now that you got to pay to read the article, but we have a good article that tells you a lot about it, where she says into the article, I'm the one who drew the heart and gave it to my brother that day. So we also know that now Kohberger has put the collect call in to Mike Baker at the Post to tell him, hey, I'm filing post-conviction relief. Kevin Fixler has now come out on his Facebook post and says, yeah, Mike Baker and I are writing a book together on the Idaho 4. Okay, so that aside, that's who that, drew him the picture. It was his sister. So if y'all know, I don't know if y'all know or not, because I don't know what y'all watch out there, what you consume, like Kohberger supporter channels, I guess, the pro burgers, whatever you want to call them. There's one that's apparently been talking to Bryan Kohberger's sister. Don't know how long it's been going on. It's just now becoming public, and apparently because Kohberger's sister gave the approval to say publicly, we've been communicating. Now, if she chooses to talk to a podcaster or content creator, who am I to stop her, right? I just found it interesting that they have been, because Now that he's filed for post-conviction relief, and we would love to get a glimpsey at a look-see-loo over there at that visitor's log, and Cy saying Anne's been in constant visitation with this guy for a solid year. Me already suspecting Turvey and Whitcomb have been on that viewer friendship list, we'll call it, to get in to see him. And I guarantee you he's also got a copy of Crit Whitcomb's book, right? There's a large push right now. Large push. And that's fine. They're going to do them. We can push right back. I'm not pushing back at a creator or people who talk to Kohberger's sister because I really don't care. But the news is out there. And you got to wonder, there won't be a narrative. It'll be just, hey, we're here for you and we're going to push the hell out of this like we've been doing all this time. So this is Mel Kohberger. And it says, is this the first one? No. Jewels of all trades. Mel, oh my God, I just saw the article. Mel says, yes, I can finally openly say I believe in my brother's innocence. That's the New York Times piece announcing the post-conviction relief. Jules replies back, I wish I could share this, but I'm glad it's there. And these are posted on Reddit. I don't know if they're on Jules' channel or not. I haven't reviewed her stuff to see, but I know people in comments have said something about glad you talked to him, so it's all true. All right. Jules says, I wish I could share this, but I'm glad it's out there in some way. It was time. And Mel says, you can share this. I believe he's innocent. And then she says, that means I would officially have to tell them. That means I would officially have to tell them that we have been in contact. If you're okay with that. If you're okay with that, I am. And I'll say it as soon as you tell me to. So that means I would officially have to tell them that we have been in contact. If you are okay, I'm okay with that too. She replies back, my mother. It's just for her, it's mom, it's not mother. Interesting. My mom wanted to add the whole family believes he's innocent, and she doesn't care if you share that. That is completely fine with me, Mel says. That is completely fine with me. You can let them know we have been in contact. Just know there are some things that I cannot talk about at this time. Well. Maybe she'll have her on for an interview. Maybe. Bri, your sister's not mad at you anymore? That's the one you stole the phone from, right? She got so mad. Dad called the cops. She must have got over that. Yeah, Firefly. Oh my God, Mel. I just saw the article. Oh. Oh. Hmm. I mean, if you support him, I mean, you support him, and if the family reaches out because you support, I guess that's their prerogative. I'm curious to see how it's all going to play out and how it benefits this guy, how they all believe it may benefit that guy to have a large public display going on during this post-conviction relief process. It's just more of the same for Idaho 4, in my opinion, and this narrative type push. When I tell y'all this case has been the most unhinged case ever, it's going to tell you hold its beer each and every time. Right now, we're at a hold my beer position right now. I guarantee it. Kohberger. I feel like it's storming outside of my house. Yup, I think it's storming. Hmm. Or at least raining hard with wind. Interesting. That's all the communication that I've seen that's been really, I don't know if there's any like information. Mel's not going to be able to share too much with her because is there an ongoing investigation? Well, there's a appeal trying to happen, or a takesy backsy situation of the appeal. I mean, I'm sorry, of the plea deal. My guilty thing. Hmm. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting, and I will keep an eye on it from afar because I really don't usually pay attention what's going on over there and what they're doing and saying and all the things. It's like it doesn't matter to me. So I saw that on X today. That's how I knew because that's where I find out all my shit. Well, a lot of it. It doesn't hide. Let me see 1 second. Oh, Bullhorn Betty's back on Seth's panel with that smiley chick and the other two ladies that I do not know. They're keeping the name of Sebastian Rogers out there without getting cray cray in the streets. That's fine. We'll let them do that. All right, let me look at this. Let me get this article pulled up, y'all. A little bit of it. Koberger's sister. Is she about to help give a big social media push to her brother's plight? They need to get mainstream media to pick it up. They want people all around the country to know about it because only so many people on the YouTubes. I don't know what they're thinking. You're only going to get reach so far on YouTube. As big as we all think it is, they're only going to get so far on YouTube. That's why when we go and do, these shows about trying to get information out outside of YouTube, who are we reaching? Okay, I think it's this article. This article. Let me get all the crazy out of the way. Hold on a second. Let me make sure. That's what I thought. Let me go back. Okay. So he has two sisters, Melissa and Amanda. Melissa's the older sister, and Amanda is the younger sister. This is about Melissa, the older one, the girl, the girl with the blue hair. Okay, Koberger's sister reveals she gave him drawing of the heart he held at sentencing. And you can see it there on the paper, on the desk. All right, Koberger's sister is finally speaking out, admitting she sent him a hand drawn picture to show his family hadn't abandoned him. Melissa Koberger sat down for a wide ranging interview with New York Times published on Saturday. She revealed she drew him a heart he was seen looking at during his sentencing, which tabloids referred to as a creepy heart. Good Lord, let me get this thing where I can control. Okay. The tabloids referred to it as the creepy drawing, and there's the close up picture of it. The Black Heart picture was apparently a photocopied version of what she'd drawn, which originally had a ton of vibrant colors. She says it was a sign of support from her to show him she still loved him. Melissa says the family is still working to reconcile the brother and son they knew in brother with the person in Brian with the person who could break into a home and slaughter 4 people inside. While Melissa says she thought at length about not having her brother around for the holidays, she notes her loss pales in comparison to those families of the victims that they deal with every day. She prays for the victims and their families, Melissa tells the New York Times. She said that even added their birthdays to her digital calendar. in order to keep them in her thoughts. Mm. Melissa also revealed she and Brian discussed the murders before he was arrested, telling the outlet she initially thought Koberger might be in danger because he wasn't the type to lock his doors. That was in the article. She had mentioned she told Brian, "Be safe, Brian, at night. There's like a guy running around Idaho did something did something bad." Oh my god. Seriously, I not this. This is not what just bugged me. Not this article. It's something else, and it's gonna come. It's gonna. During the sentencing, family members of the victims and tore into Koberger, giving fiery speeches in court with some dark jokes peppered in as well. Brian is serving a life sentence in Idaho. So anyway, yeah, that's crazy. So we'll have to see how that goes, y'all. What do y'all think? Do y'all think she'll come out and do an interview, or will keep an eye on things through social media and clock social media and see where they're, 'cause people have always watched social media to see where they stand with this case, right? On both sides of the defense and prosecution were doing it for quite some time. It was really obvious. Let me get the chat pulled up where I can see it. Yeah, you can't pay that lady no mind, his sister. She never once said that she didn't think her brother was guilty or innocent, y'all. It was she never, even when the article first came out, we think about the families. I have to reconcile who my brother is. Like, but it was never never like a acknowledgement of what he did, kind of thing. She is an oddball. She always was. Remember her old TikTok girl? That old TikTok weird picture with the fangs. Like one time she posted a TikTok and she literally took a post from me and a post from fucking BTK's daughter and had it in the same. I was like, girl, no, I don't want the DMs. I do want to do, we don't do the DMs around here. I don't, I'm good. We never, 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 never. Well, I never reached out like that. No, no. But I seen what you did. I saw what you did. Ann Taylor's office's mom is the word right now. We haven't seen her reach out anywhere across the board yet, right? Except for that when she apparently chastised Tipsy Turvy, hasn't said a word about Cy that we know of, um, and no statements at all. People, I think the statesman, I'm sure Enton's people have reached out for comment, and as far as I know, she has not commented anywhere out there. Now, hang on, guys. I need to check something super quick. And then we're going to get this video up and talk about it for a little while. Hold on one second. Okay. Now, remember when we were all reviewing Cy the other night over on Enton's channel, the more reputable channel? We were picking up on some things, right? And Enton was doing his thing. And we were all hearing Cy kind of elaborate more on some things he had said on the Custody Queen's interview, right? About the phone latitude and longitude being in the house kind of thing. Well, Aspen Connor went over there to the Web Sleuth ladies channel, and they had she brought him up on panel. This is the same night, Grace. A yike. That scared me. I turned on my thing and pulled up my playlist, and Dr. Gary Ricardo was talking, and I kind of got scared for a moment. Hold on. Let me get this other one scary too, but it's okay. Is this the same one where Grayson was on the live? Oh, it is. It is. I forgot. He came up. That's right, because he came up after her. Because I was like, oh shit, that's right. It's the same one. Okay. Well, Grayson, you never mind. We're gonna focus on this guy, because this guy went up there and ran amok on the end of the world party to let them know all about the Flora 4 case and some whatever he was doing. And Joe Schmo went on panel 2. Remember, he's trying to redeem himself out here on these streets and get back in the business. He's got stories to bring. So he goes on panel, and they start a conversation about the Flora 4 and Delphi. And Joe sits there all dumbfounded, like oh, I didn't know nothing. Dude, you know a lot. You knew a lot more than you said. You knew a lot more than you said. And you know it, but you weaned out, of course. But where's that damn interview with Holman that you and I did together that we ripped him to shreds and you went all fucking in and showed your true colors? The thing you don't want everybody to know? Where's that video at? Anyway, Aspen just did not do that case any justice. Tindy knows of this person, he knows that person, he done this, he done that, all this work. Then remember he even showed that Susan Smith video he did where he did the weird fucking filter on his face and he didn't look real. Okay, so now he comes to Idaho 4 conversation. I've been in this case far deeper than I ever should have. Not behind the scenes kind of deep, but just in deep, right? I never heard of this dude. Not any of his work. Same thing for Delphi. I'm like double dipping these two cases at the same time. Aspen Connor did what in Delphi? He did what in Idaho 4? I don't think. When? Did he hide behind somebody? Because I didn't see him. Anyway, yeah, after he annihilates Flora 4 in Delphi with his word salad, he decides to come do the same over here at Trisha Grifton's channel. Maybe he got some woo-woo. Is that what's wrong with him? So he's going to spit some knowledge. He thinks he's going to talk about victims' families. He thinks he's going to talk about things he already knew. Come on. I already knew that. I already knew. You knew everything Cyree was already saying. You knew Kohberger was in the house. How do you know? They say he could have an accomplice. All right. Damn dumb little snoring ass dog. Hold up, y'all. He ain't no modern artist. He's no modern artist. What he's using victims. He's using that pick me syndrome. I know somebody. I was there. I knew that already. I knew that but couldn't say. Only thing I've known over the past year I didn't talk about was BTK's daughter having a breakdown. But I'm not the only one who knew. It was we saw it in real time on X. It was like, oh, girl, you know what I mean? But we gave it grace. God, her daddy's a fucking BTK. Shit. Go handle your business, girlfriend. That kind of thing. Other than that, no. What this guy claimed he has done and knew about was wild to me. And I'm going to I can't, and Trisha, she don't know what's going on. She's going to be like, but Trisha, I got to hand it to you. Then when he starts trying to tell her stuff he knows, she's like, wait a minute. What do you mean? How do you know? Tell me more. She starts going into confusion state. She got frozen shock phase. Oh, I don't, he, guilt or whatever. He's a true crime fucking weirdo. Period. Every case he touches is going to be bullshit. And Hannah Shakespeare, I'm not mad at her. I can never be mad at Hannah. My kids just got home with my food and I'm not really hungry yet. have to close my door. Hold on, let me close the door. Okay. Okay, let's see. All right. Let me get my bearings back. Web tooth in the house. They're gonna bring us the tooth and nothing but the tooth, y'all. What they're not gonna do, she's got that plaque sitting up there on her back wall, left side of her, not the side that says Trisha. The other side, she's got that picture that somebody mailed her of the Flora victims right there on her shelf. And Idaho's got enough going on. We're not going to put up with these Aspen Connors coming in with their I knew this and that bullshit. Okay, so we're going to let them start enter. Let's let Trisha take it away, y'all. Don't get the woo-woo. Don't let her get under your skin. Laugh at her when she's comical. It's okay. I do. All the time. All the time.
Scrappy scrap. Aspen Connor. Hey there. Hey, so do you really think there might be a way for Kohlberger, to get this overturned?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would not have thought so about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
But over the course of the last year and a half, things I've heard just about the behavior of Anne, and I'm not discrediting her professionalism, her
the things he's heard over time about Anne. What are you talking about? What you heard? Look at that face. What's wrong with this guy? Like legit, what's wrong with him? I have concerns, but now he knows there's been a bizarre y'all Cyree is the one that told us there was a bizarre behavior between Ann Taylor, an unhealthy relationship is what Cyree called it. It's out there for the world to see. And he's going to sit here now and pretend like he's known all along. All of us gauge that relationship in the courtroom. What the weird part is that I can't put my finger on is when Dolphin and I noticed what we appeared to us to be a pullback with Ann Taylor in court. She wasn't sitting quite as close to Bri as she used to. There's a little distance there. It was just a different vibe. But now I really don't know what to make of it. But anyway, Aspen's over here knowing shit. He's all knowing. He's got the third eye. He's got the Cassandra syndrome in reverse because Turvey didn't have the fucking definition right.
Her record, I think she, I mean, I think it's a stretch to say she had ineffective assistance of counsel, but I think her attachment to Bryan Kohberger has been possibly emotionally attached in a way that isn't necessarily healthy.
Okay, now why do you say that? She's so professional and so good. So what makes you say that that's happening?
Things that I've been told privately.
Good God Almighty. Good God Almighty. Trisha's like, wait a minute. She's professional. How do you know that? Dude, I'm Trisha, she's skeptical. Trisha is skeptical of the Aspen. He can't say, he's going to tell you later he saw it on Cyree. But right now he's all like, I've just known, Trisha. What? Why would you even feel the need to have to go do that? Pretend like you've known something forever that you didn't know, that you literally learned by watching somebody else's podcasts, like the rest of us, right? No, I'm sorry. Aspen. That's not you, though, right? He's like, God, Salty, that's not me. Stop it.
By
Okay.
people. And again, I don't want to be that person that's like, "Oh, a source told me." But
Can we clip that? I don't want to be that person. Oh, source told me. Well, you are that person, aren't you?
but I
Can
have
you give us just a little hint of something that that you were
well,
told?
Just a little nibble.
okay, we're a year out from we are a year out from his guilty plea, and from what should have been the judicial closure that the families of the victims in Idaho.
This dude's more than just a Rick Allen person to me. He's fucking Aspen Connor. He touches all the cases, but I don't look at. It's like pro burgers. I don't like calling them that. What if they legit believe in what they think? People who believe Rick Allen is innocent firmly believe it. So, a Gilter, pro burger, I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. People gonna believe what they believe. Shabugs, you know what I mean? They gonna do it. They gonna do them.
Should have been able to. No one can ever get over this, but they should have been able to close that chapter and start their healing journey. And yet, Anne's never said one word publicly. She has been stone silent, and that's something you don't see very often, even by the most professional of the defense attorneys.
Mhm.
They usually will give a statement. I mean, and I hate to take things back to Delphi all the time, but I mean, Richard Allen, and that's a very divisive case, and lots of people still to this day believe that Richard Allen is innocent. His defense attorneys adamantly believe, still to this day, and I think that they genuinely believe he's innocent.
He said, I think they genuinely believe his attorneys. That's debatable across the masses, but who am I to judge? He had 3 and I liked 1. And she was not a man. Again, he had 3 and I liked 1. So, people are going to debate that. If the cows come home, I don't care. Oh, Aspen, we know how you feel. It's okay. But you can't, that's the thing, Shabug, so they can't critically think and logically look at a case and say, well, there might be something here versus there's not, is this concern legitimate? And you know what I mean? And evaluating that, yeah, that's pretty much left the building sometimes, and it's so sad. Kind of like you guys were doing over there at Criminalities, like a week or more ago, with that first episode of Nolan's case. It was kind of like that, doing that, like going through the stuff and what's here, and then going, what do we got? But this weird jumping in and all in, and how can you say you feel a certain way about a case if you didn't actually really look at it? And if you have friends that say, hey, there might be something wrong, are you willing to go say, well, what is that? What's your concern? Right? We should be at that space, but we're not. But see, we got people like Trisha. Oh my God, did I miss her? Did she got the saran wrap today? Trisha? Connor. Oh, y'all notice now. Keep an eye on Trisha's cup for her. We don't want bugs in it. I found out that's why she keeps it covered up with saran wrap. But yeah, they don't have meaningful conversations over here. They get dramatic, and Trisha just acts all crazy when she talks about this crime scenes and stuff. It's bizarre behavior.
And they they advocate for.
She does. Oh hell, Trisha, she's still using the saran wrap on her cup. I thought legit, guys, at the end of the world party or whatever it was, I think it was then, I saw her drinking out of the cup and taking the saran wrap away to drink it. And I thought, oh, does she have hot soup in there or broth or what are we doing? Cider? She got a sore throat. Everybody like, no, Salty, she got bugs in the house. I was like, excuse me? She's got bugs in the house, so she covers up the cup with a saran wrap, plastic wrap. Oh boy.
His innocence. They, I think, made it about, a week before they spoke publicly. They gave home video to our documentary that I did, for Hulu and ABC News on that.
You did the documentary for Hulu and ABC News. You did. Was you back on that? I got to go back and look at those credentials again.
So, I mean, Anne's demeanor in the last year to me has shown, I mean, what motivation would she have to not give any statement at all regarding her
Now, I don't know if this guy deletes stuff like what he ever did on YouTube before, but I went and looked at his YouTube channel. Let's go see what you've done on Idaho 4. I can only find a couple of things, and the videos were like 3 minutes long at most. And one was real weird. I was like, what is this? Where's a deep dive, right? Where's a good document read? Where's a good discussion? A good tunnel, even. Now, I couldn't find it.
her representing Brian Koberger.
You mean, and you mean her coming out and saying,
She's never said a word.
I believe he's innocent or whatever. I mean, because he pled guilty.
Yes, I mean but I mean she's never given a public statement, not a word.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something you've seen. I mean, look, we have Mark Geragos out there, 25 years later, still talking
about Scott. Yeah.
Y'all big mad at Mark Geragos. Are y'all? Oh, hell.
And, I understand there are optics that are involved in some of that too. But when Cy came out in the Brian Enton episode this morning, which I found very, very interesting because, like,
I bet you did, so much so you thought those thoughts were your own. he thought he knew that shit for a year that he heard on that show, and somebody had already told him. And he just can't remember who it was. And I don't think he's got bottom teeth.
I think I said in the chat, there are things that I've been told privately that that coincide with a lot of the information that he presented.
He was told things privately that coincide with the stuff that Cy said on Brian Enton. Well, I wonder if he bites easily. Do you bite the apple much? Do you bite the apple, Connor? Who's your source? Who you talk to? Could you get me in there? He'd fall for it. He'd fall for it. He'd so fall for it. Would you fall for it, Connor? Aspen, Connor? Would you? I might do it for fun. Would you fall for it? What about you, Trisha? You'll bite? Hey, Trisha, can I come on and be your guest? Trisha, can I come on the big show? Trisha? I wasn't comfortable coming up my jammies in the middle of the night. And you said we had to cam up, and Andy and I discussed it. We legit had a conversation. Do we really want to get in our pajamas and cam up for Trisha? And we were like, nah, we don't feel like doing all that shit. Trisha, can I come on? I don't want to come for real because I don't want to get the bugs. Can I come, Trisha?
Whether that's true or not, I have no way to verify. I don't claim to. I haven't covered Idaho publicly in years.
He hasn't covered it publicly in years. He's been covering it privately. All by himself. Sitting on the couch. What does he mean? Privately for... Why would you do it privately if you're a true crime reporter, content creator / podcast special guest person? I'm going to bring the truth to the people. Yeah, you're a truth to the people kind of guy. So why would he do it privately? I don't believe you, Connor Aspen Connor.
But I will say that hearing some of that this morning, I was like, oh, all of this is stuff that I heard either years or months ago.
Okay.
Years or months ago. Trisha's like, wait a minute. You didn't tell me, Connor. Fucking you didn't tell me I'm Trisha. Websleuths.com, guy. Can you read it's in above my head in fucking neon letters. Jesus Christ, Aspen. Oh, hell. I saw a lady's comment today and I was like, holy, did I, hang on. Did I? I don't think I did. I'm going to have to remember what it said. It was something like they wanted Trisha to know they donated their DNA to Othram Labs to help with the DNA solves, to help the victims of murders and murder victims' families, and they're donating monthly to the websleuths.com cause and to the DNA of it all databank cause. I was like, oh wow, that was the end game for Othram. To get women like her, and possibly men, I had to get a drink, to voluntarily beef up their data bank so the FBI will stop stealing their work.
Like what? Like what did they say in the podcast? Because I didn't have a chance to watch it.
Trisha, it broke the internet. My God, dude, that was a scathing interview that Brian Hinton did. What do you mean you missed it? You didn't see it yet? What kind of websleuths.com lady are you? You should have been all over that one, man. It's Idaho 4. You should have been all over that huge interview, but that's okay. Aspen's going to tell her. It's all good.
Oh, there's a lot. And again, and this was, I woke up this morning and I think I fell asleep last night watching something on YouTube, as I do many nights. A lot of times it's Trisha. Not that she puts me to sleep.
I do that with Interview Room, dude. It's like, oh yeah, that'll do it.
It's Stacey's frogs.
It is her frogs, but I take that as a compliment. But go ahead.
So, Stacey, I'm sorry that you have a headache tonight. I think Stacey avoids me. She's never here when I come on.
Well, it is because you might come on that she said she wasn't. So just so you know.
What if secretly Stacey's creeped out by him, but she doesn't want to tell Trisha?
If he's problematic, I don't want to.
No, tell us what they said that you believe is true that was said today in Brian Hinton's podcast.
Well, both personally and publicly, we heard early on in the Idaho case.
Personally and publicly. So these viewers out there watching him going, like, believe in him, right? Or they're like, oh my God, he knows stuff. We are so lucky to be part of websleuths.com where her guests know stuff and they know people and they know the families and the families love them and they're comfortable to come talk to them. Lauren's got families. Aspen's got families to talks to them. Oh my God, those poor souls.
That I think the words that they said originally were that there were signs that Brian Koberger touched into the Wi-Fi.
Okay. Oh, right.
King Roadhouse. I think this is a further explanation on that, and it's something that I'd heard before. I knew from a family member of one of the victims that there were strong indications that there was a clear singular victim that was the intended person that Brian Koberger wanted to kill.
Okay. Are you sure about what you just said? Are you positive about what you just said? Because you're going to say something different in just a minute. Family members talk to you, intended target. We all know who the only family member that it was ever talking was in this case and who they thought the intended target was. Stephen Christy Gonzalez always maintained and thought Kaylee was the target because she was so it was horrible what happened to Maddie. What happened to Kaylee was so bad, y'all, they could not ID that poor child. Okay? They just couldn't pick up her ID and put it next to her and say, yeah, that's her. They could with Madison Mogen. They could with Xana Kernodle. They could not do that with Kaylee Gonzalez because her face was completely different. Investigators were stumped as to why that was. She interrupted the perfect plan in his mind. She wasn't supposed to even be there. She was at home getting her new truck, getting ready to prepare to take her dog and go to Texas and deal with Jack and figure out this life we're doing together or not. I'm going to go back. I'm not going to go back. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go be Dylan's +1. Does Koberger know she got that new 2015 truck? Did he see the post on Instagram? Then when she got there and surprise, Maddie, here's my car. Did he see a post about the car? Didn't fucking care about all the cars in the front of the house? Did he know whose all the cars were? The only one he shouldn't have known was Kaylee's, unless he saw the post about the car. All right, Aspen, carry on with all your knowledge.
And
Okay.
I'm sorry, the street sweeper going by.
That's okay. So, can you tell us who that person was? Is it the one that everybody has said
It's
all
Matt.
along? It what? Matt?
It's Matt.
Maddie?
Who the fuck is Matt, Trisha? Who the fuck is Matt? Maddie. I don't know what family member ever told him Maddie was the victim or intended target. I don't think Karen is talking to this guy. Stacy Chapin. No one's talking. They may have said hi at CrimeCon one time. Chapin's shook your hand. Stephen Christie might have said hey to you. You're a dime a dozen podcaster dude, right? Yeah.
Really? Because I haven't heard about Maddie yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at it, I mean, even without having that knowledge, if you look at it logically, Kaylee was not supposed to be there that weekend.
Well, that's true.
Ethan was, that's an unpredictable factor as well. You don't go into a house full of that many people. If Ethan's your victim, you don't go. Or
Right.
victim, you don't go into that house. If Kaylee's your victim,
It was always the weird part. Because if you didn't know, even if Kaylee was supposed to be there, Kaylee has her own ass bedroom, right? Own bedroom. So in Koberger's brain, would he always assume Maddie was alone in her bed, right? Regardless of what Kaylee was doing or with who and her individual, all the girls in their individual rooms. Because this guy was really watching all the girls. He knew how many girls were in that house. Once he figured out which one he wanted and maybe then saw the house, then he's like, oh my God, a bunch of girls. I still want that one, right? Then you got a lot to figure out. That's a lot to navigate to get into that house, to avoid all those people to get to that one girl. That is a weird part right there. Is that why you did it at such a weird hour in the middle of the night, when you think everybody's asleep? And you can just literally slip in, goes right to where you need to go, do whatever you intend to do, and slip right back out into the darkness? Was that the intent the entire time? That's a big risk to think, I got to navigate all those people and they're just going to be asleep. As long as I'm quiet, it's all good. And if I don't forget my sheath, even better.
Kaylee's your intended victim
Mm-hmm.
when she's driving a brand new vehicle you may or may not know about.
Right.
I do believe she had posted something on social media about buying the Range Rover, but still, I think the fascination with the victim, with Maddie, I'll just say Maddie. I mean, I think that it started long before November 13th.
And how did they meet up? Do you have any idea?
I don't know 100%. I know,
What do you
I had
think?
heard that their phones were in the same place at the same time on
Mhm.
multiple occasions. Cy, in his interview with Brian Koberger, with Brian Enton, sorry,
He acted like he knew something he knows he didn't know right there, right? And then he says, Cy Ray interviewed Brian Enton. It's the guy can't even get his notes correct. It's so weird.
Brian, with Brian Enton and Olivia, who I will say, Olivia Gonzalez, I've never met her.
Mm-hmm.
I've never spoken to her. She is an amazing advocate, and anyone
Absolutely.
that has a sibling would be lucky to have her as their sister.
Yeah, absolutely.
I met Steve and Christy. I haven't spoken to them much, but again,
Haven't spoken to them much. So what family members is he speaking to, or telling him stuff like a year? He knows stuff. Now he doesn't talk to Olivia. Never talked to her. Met Steve and Christy. Doesn't talk to them much. Who's he talking to then? You are such a liar, Aspen Connor. Trisha, your guests are not very credible. They are just not. What was it? That girl right there? You got that girl's on your show. Trisha Griffin's guests are not very credible.
I think they're an amazing family. They've chosen to take a different route when it comes to advocating for their child. But I will say that I had heard actually more than a year ago that Brian's phone and Maddie's phone had been in the same place.
So like they.
Oh, he heard over a year ago that Maddie's phone and Brian's had been in the same place? Who told you that, Aspen Connor? Because nobody knew that, not even the victim's father. So who told you, Aspen Connor? There's a lot of leaks in this case. A lot of leaks did a lot of damage. Investigations were conducted. So who the hell told you, Aspen Connor? Are you really ready to sit on an open YouTube panel and say stuff like that with people like me listening? Really? Dude, I don't work at websleuths.com. Have you met me? Salty Sleuth Investigates. Nice to meet you. Aspen Connor Aspen. Tell me more. I'm always listening.
They were together somewhere?
I had heard that the phones were in the same place at the same time on multiple occasions.
But you don't know where, like coffee shop?
I did not know where. I looked into the Mad Greek aspect of it. I had heard about about his. I mean, I think we.
But you don't even know what to say. I looked into the Mad Greek aspect of it. What'd you do? Did you watch the same YouTube stuff and talk that we were in part of? Jesus Christ. What's this guy saying? He ain't talked to nobody ever at Dana's live. He's fucking full of shit. You ain't got no sources. You ain't got no leaked information. You're just you watch the whole damn podcast of Brian Enton's and are pretending like you knew everything that Cyree was talking about. That's so weird. It is so incredibly weird to me that why do people feel the need to do that? Like my ego, my narcissistic behavior. What is it? I'm delusional. I don't know no better. I mean, what is wrong with these people? Legit anymore. It's beyond, they're grifting. They just want, no, y'all. Psychologically, there is something wrong with these people. Jesus. What is wrong with this man? And what is wrong with that little girl right there that little girl? What's wrong with you?
Publicly had heard his phone had connected to their Wi-Fi or was touched to their Wi-Fi.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I had also privately heard.
Steve Gonzalez talked about that dude, 6 months into the case, if that Wi-Fi touching Wi-Fi. Hey, turns out there might have been more than some touching going on. Shut up, Aspen Connor.
He may have been in the home.
That he may have been what?
That he had been in their home.
Okay.
I don't know if it was, but it was never presented to me as it was in a nefarious, like outwardly nefarious manner.
Right.
That it might have just been a totally.
Like they could make parties. I mean, it could be all kinds of things. Sure.
Or there may be something we don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something. And something as Sai said.
No, he kind of looks like sometimes when he sometimes when he makes a face, he looks like the DoorDash driver. What's her name? Oh my God. What's the DoorDash driver's name in the Brian Koberger case? What's her fucking name? Everybody thought the DoorDash driver did it. Sleuthy Goosey had a pretty compelling little video. Oh my God. Molly, 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 Molly. It's you, girl. Jesus. Oh God.
In the in his interview today with Brighton, and of course, this is just Brian. This is just Sai's opinion.
Sure.
So I'm not, I'm not saying this is, fact, but it's something that I had not actually thought about before. But he even said something that keeps standing out to me, where he said, "What made Brian choose Washington?"
Mm-hmm.
I think that I think that it's possible. I don't know if it's probable. I think it's possible that he chose the university because of the professors that were there, and also because what if he followed one of the victims on social media?
Well, dumbass, can we enlighten you with a little information? The professor was at DeSales in Pennsylvania. Her name was Catherine Ramsland. After graduating DeSales University, he went to Washington State University to pursue his career further, his education, PhD, and all that. And he went on a very highly recommended. In fact, the teacher that recommended Brian Koberger had only done it, what was it, one other time for a student? It was a big deal. That's why he chose Washington State University. Teacher's assistant, paid everything. Tried to get a job there in the police department, all the things. I think that's just how that got chose. I think. Knife was bought back in March. It was coming wherever I'm going. It's coming with. It's coming with. Oh, like that one time that one guy made a video when people were saying that was not Brian Koberger's DNA or it was planted. And he made a video of the cars riding by and he's like, Koberger's driving and the sheath is chilling in the passenger seat. And it jumps out the window and just floats into the house. He's like, no, come back. And she's like, fuck you. Oh my God, Aspen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That could be very easily.
Kaylee's phone still is in. Kaylee can call this his fan. They don't have her phone back yet.
They don't?
No. So I would assume that none of the victims' families have their phones back.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to getting into their social media and things like that, we know it publicly. We've been told that Brian Koberger.
Well, when you watch the Netflix docuseries that just aired, and you watch Olivia, she's going to tell you something a lot of us have known from day one. She's the one that found the grub truck video via Twitch. She's the one that accessed her sister's phone and discovered that Kaylee had called Jack DeCour, her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, on again, off again, father of the dog she shared with him, over and over and over that night once she got back home. Maddie had made multiple calls to Jack. They could see all of Kaylee's outgoing calls, incoming calls. She couldn't see certain things because it was a shared account with Christy Gonzalez. She gave Olivia access to the account so she could go see, where's my sister? Because they didn't know what was going on yet. They were hearing things and they're trying to reach Kaylee and they can't. So, dude, do your homework, please. And as far as Kaylee's phone, they got the... Dude, please do your homework on stuff.
Now went to one of their TikTok accounts moments after he left the house.
Really?
Really? I know, Trisha. I couldn't believe it either. Moments after Koberger left the victim's house, he's on one of their TikTok accounts. Moments after? How many moments? Exactly. Speeds away at 420. High rate of speed. When did he get on the TikTok? Huh, Aspen?
Well, I guess it would have had to have been at least 12 or 13 minutes later because that's
okay. Right.
Mode off.
Okay.
But I think a lot of
This
people
guy.
assumed that was Xana's because she was on TikTok. So I think a lot of people just
Oh my God.
associate the two.
That was hers, right?
What if he'd been following Maddie on social media?
It could have been. There's no question that could have been.
There was he and Cy presented it as a fact, in his opinion, that the weekend that school started, I think it was August, the third week of August, I believe, of 2022, that Maddie's phone was at the apartment complex next to Brian Koberger's apartment.
Really?
Brian Koberger moved from his apartment complex to the apartment complex next door, and that they were in the same place at the same time.
Wow.
And then on multiple occasions over the next 3 months, their phones were within meters of each other.
Wow. So again, we don't know where or.
Does that mean that they had a connection or knew each other?
Right.
No. Does it mean that he may have been closely following or stalking?
Yes.
As
Oh, careful with that word, Aspen Connor Aspen. We don't know. State of Idaho, we cannot legally call that guy a stalker. He was surveilling, sir. We don't like it when Lauren called that girl Christina a stalker because we don't feel that way. Christina's a nice lady. We don't calm down with that word, sir. We use the word surveil in the Idaho 4 case. I do. It triggers people.
you know, as it's been often as it's been often said in this case, that's where my mind goes. I'm not going to say that Maddie knew this guy when none of her friends or no one in her life has given any indication that she knew this guy.
He's like, I'm not going to say she knew him. Dude, she didn't know him. Have you seen the interviews with all those friends? No one knew who Brian Koberger was. If Maddie ever had an interaction with this guy, nobody ever knew about it. And Maddie is not going to sneak off with the Brian Kobergers. If anybody would, it would have been somebody else, but not Maddie.
Right.
A decade older than them, or almost. But as I say that, and I'm like, "Hey, Grayson," and she's 20 years younger than me. But
You dirty old man. You had to point that out. Hey, Grayson, but she's 20 years younger than me. What kind of Joe Schmo is that? Shit is that? Did you offer to buy her a drink? A little shot of tequila? Why did you need to insert? She's 20. Hi, Grayson. She's 20 years younger than me. And? Is that normal behavior right there? Can we ask Dr. John? Somebody get him on the phone. Call Dr. John right now. Is that normal for that to be even said? Ew. Aspen, you're weird.
But again, you know, we don't know what motivates people other than the fact of the.
Don't know what motivates people. Aha, gotcha, sir. I know, right? Surprise. We can peel back the layers and figure it out, though, if you want to. You ready?
Information were given. And something I had also been told 2 years ago, a year ago, I shouldn't say 2 years ago, because I stopped covering this case publicly, at least a while ago.
Why did he stop covering it publicly a while ago? I stopped Delphi publicly for a while, but it was like, really, dude, it was a lot. Idaho 4 was not like that. It was so different. They were so different. One was dangerous. One was dangerous for the case. Both were dangerous. That's really weird to say because they were both dangerous for the case. But one was dangerous to people and one was just dangerous on social media. Let me put it that way. Like Sebastian Rogers' case, dangerous on social media that tends to go real life. Idaho 4 didn't go real life like that. It was dangerous, but in a weird way. It's the Idaho 4 effect, man. It's so different. This guy's weird.
Is that, you know, Brian Koberger has some incredibly disturbing, and I don't want to go too graphic because I don't want you to get flagged, but
It's fine. You can.
adult content found on his.
He's like, I don't want to get you flagged. Trisha's like, it doesn't matter. Go ahead. It's okay. Go ahead. Trisha, we sometimes do have to slow our roll a little tiny bit. Oh my God, this guy. Don't recall him before we covered Clancy. This guy, I don't know where he goes and does. I don't know where he comes from. I heard he dabbled in Delphi. He says he dabbled in Idaho 4. He dabbles in a lot of things, right? He's just a true crime guy dabbling in a lot of things out there. I got my grubby little hands in a lot of things. That's me, Aspen Connor. Connor Aspen. I may or may not know shit. Okay. We can let him keep knowing nothing.
Electronic devices. And when I say,
yeah, they're trial tourists, right? The trial tourists gotta stick together. What's the next popular trial? For Lauren, it was Delphi, Indiana. Make no mistake about it, Lauren didn't run down there because she needed to see justice served with her own eyes, because there was no courtrooms in the courtrooms in there, no camera in the courtroom. Lauren didn't go to make sure anything. Lauren went because that was the hottest thing going at the moment. That's the only reason why she went. In the story. And make friends. Jerry Holman of it all, and then that crime con. Jerry, it's me, Lauren Matthias. Jerry Holman. Mr. Reed Technique guy, it's me. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. I see right through their bullshit.
That I mean the most brutal of brutal, non-consensual.
Oh God.
Awake, not sleeping, as Olivia had said.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear God.
Brutal.
That's disgusting.
Sexual acts that you can imagine.
That is just disgusting.
It is disgusting, Trisha. Damn it. Yeah. My God. Y'all, these people are odd. The way, it's when we talk about these crimes and we discuss it, and we've discussed the differences in Koberger's affection for corn. Can't say the big girl word, Trisha. You know what I mean? Versus the being away, or it was first reported that it was like unconscious essay of victims, but Cy Ray says it was actually they're awake and it's like torture. Like BTK was about that. His BTK stand for bind, torture, kill. Rex Heuermann, they were awake. That dude, holy shit, torture, y'all. Like, we don't even want to know what all Rex Heuermann did down there in that weird little ass room that his wife wanted to go chill out in to feel what the women felt. The fuck, lady? What's wrong with you? Oh my God. Okay, I can't.
And something I did not know, or something I had not heard until today, is she actually said she's heard that there were even same-sex.
Y'all hear that damn dog? That was the dog, Connor. Aspen, whatever the fuck you are. That wasn't Trisha.
Content found as well. I've not heard that before.
Really? Interesting.
But I had heard long before this that there was extremely brutal, non-consensual.
Oh God!
All this dude's in DoorDash. He's over there hanging out in the Defense Diaries because it's popular. It's popular. B and C and be seen, right? And so he's there for that, and he's reading The Room as well. And his gal pals, Lauren and Grayson, are telling him, he's reading The Room, guys. He's making the rounds. He needs to find his way back in. Y'all watch out for that Slytherin snake, or that guy Joe Schmo. Joe Schmo?
God, what an animal.
Oh, an animal, Trisha.
What an animal.
And
And
he
all,
erased it all. And like, you know, if you remember, I can't remember their names. It's a married couple, and she's brilliant, and he is as
Mhm.
well. Barn
Heather and Jared Barnhart, celebrate couple.
starts with the B.
I don't know.
The ones that digitally that went through their phones, or that went through Brian's phone.
Hmm.
And something that
Trisha has no fucking clue either. Bernhardt Heather. I want to interview her so bad. Connor Aspen. Could you hook me up?
she said has always stood out to me, and it's something that just it resonates, is that the absence of information found on his phone is what led them to keep looking.
Really?
Oh, Trisha.
And if you think about it,
Okay.
all of us are tied to our phone.
He said, if you think about it, Trisha said, okay. Hold on, let me tell myself to think about it. Oh, there. Y'all, they're so stupid sometimes. I have to laugh. It's comical at points, and then there's points it's not comical, right? But the fact that they're putting out this bullshit to all these people and these people fall for it is weird. I can sit there and watch somebody and wonder, are they full of shit? Like, people probably watch me and wonder, is she full of shit? I don't side eye you for that. High five to you for being that way. Jesus Christ, can we be real? At first, I don't know what I'm dealing with. I got to figure it out. Time will tell, right? Oh my God. And people flock to the websleuths.com. I don't know. I don't look at their numbers and worry about all that, because I know it's not the reach ain't far out. It's not outside of YouTube, right? It's not like the mainstream media is latched onto this lady and just hangs on her every word. It's not like that at all. I don't even know if mainstream media remembers this Connor guy. They don't seem to really do well. A few of them will put Lauren up because she knows a guy or two. So she has a few places she can go. She's okay on the mainstream media. She knows a guy or two. It is what it is. Okay, never mind. I've said enough.
Hmm.
24 hours a day for the most part. I mean, granted, there are days where I'm like, I have to unplug and I go offline. But I'm not killing 4 people in the state next door.
Right.
I'm just taking a mental break. But most of us, for the most part, are, on our phones on a consistent basis with very similar patterns.
Right.
When you're looking into these things and you have thank God there are people that are experts. And by the way, I think this is going to be a huge, for anyone under the age of 25 or older that's looking for a career change.
Hold the brakes. Hold the brakes, Morris Dog Mom. For real? That's that guy Squeegee or something? I don't watch that channel. Huh. He's only got, I know who his friends are on this platform. There's ain't but like 2.
Incredible new career opportunity. I think it's only going to grow. Is forensic.
Yes.
What?
Technology forensics. Because I think that is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Forensics and technology?
Agree.
But people that can look into the back rooms, if you will, of phones and digital
The back rooms of phones.
devices, I think, are things that are going to be crucial for all cases going forward. And even something Steve Gonzalez said in the video today is that, he's talked to these private labs that some are saying they're seeing fewer and fewer non-consensual sex crimes.
Really?
Because there are criminals that have the foresight to know they can't get away with it anymore.
Right.
Because not only is it, DNA from, sperm, but and just fluid, just anything.
Right.
Anything.
Do you have to list them all out, dude? The DNA from the DNA. You could describe it in different ways, but he don't even know what to do. He don't even know what the first thing he comes to is that, because he's going with essays, right? People aren't committing essay, you know, you know what I'm saying, because they're afraid of DNA these days. And maybe there's a lot of guys out there not committing those types of crimes because they think about the DNA. Heuermann thought about it. It's in his planning document. Rex Sherman had a whole planning document, and he began to have concerns about this DNA shit people were talking about. He's like, let me look into this DNA. Let me Google some DNA stuff. What's going on with the DNA? Note to self, do not leave the DNA. And one day he forgot and left some pizza crust. He didn't know they was following him, though, to get it. So I'll give him credit. He did not know. He was not aware he was being followed, and they was going to get that pizza crust and test it. Oh, good God. Aspen, do you have a channel? What do you do over on your channel? What do you do in your channel?
There's the ability now to find a DNA match.
Mm-hmm.
We now have the ability to find DNA matches.
And again, my point, but
I thought that came out decades ago.
Because I go from like one thing to the next.
Yeah.
Dude, we're on to much more advanced DNA technology now. We're way ahead of you, Aspen Connor. What happened, Trisha? Trisha, you gave us the woo-woo. Stop it. Trisha? She broke it. Trisha broke it. For real, I don't know what happened. Trisha broke it. I don't know why it won't start, Trisha. Usually it'll spin when it breaks. Are we almost done with your ass? Okay. Huh. How much more do y'all think he knows? I don't think he knows much more. It's already, you got that big. There's always been a huge push on this platform for Bryan Kohberger. It was odd because when this case happened, without Bryan Kohberger being named or even known, this case was already different because it was 4 young college students in a house together. And not long later, the news broke that there were 2 surviving roommates. And in our heads, you're like, wow, that's crazy what's happened. And, all the things, what happened. You may not even think much about it. And you hear a little more, a little more. It was always from the get-go, this big what? Even if you learn later what really was going on that night and you still think the roommates were just surviving roommates, it was still a big who did that, right? Who would have went in that house and did all that? And it was wild that it took a minute to catch this guy, it felt like. Why can't they get him? So it was always weird and always different. It always felt like this is the beginning of a new way of social media. We'd already had Gabby Petito, right? Kylie Rodney. For those primers, right? For what's to come. And then here came Idaho 4. At the same time, Delphi, and they were both treated very differently by the communities were they were both loud, and a lot at times. Loud and a lot at times. It was a lot to navigate through, I'll be honest. I was trying to navigate through both of those at the same time. And there was times it was maddening. What do I believe? Who do I trust? What do I watch? Can I trust this person that I'm watching? It was all of those things. So that's why I always stress to you guys to be safe on these YouTube streets, because I know what it can be like when you're trying to navigate them, right? And you're trying to get through the bullshit. The bullshit can be fun sometimes when we're making fun of stuff, but when it comes down to the nuts and bolts of something, it can be hard. And say if you never followed the Idaho 4 case, right? And say you come into a live stream like mine and you hear the way I talk about this case. Because, we're not like mainstream media where I got to just give you the facts and no, nothing else. Just the facts, Jack. So if you listen to me, you're going to hear one thing. Or not like one narrative, but I talk about all of it. But if you go to the other channels that don't talk about, the support his he didn't do it, you're going to get a very different story, even of the meaning of the documents and the hearings. And it's like, well, which one do I believe, right? Which one do I believe? Like, if you legit didn't know me, or say Jules of all trades, reactions, whatever it's actually called, and trust me, Jules and I go way back, early Idaho days, from the same community. In fact, we know each other, not like know each other. We know of each other on this platform, and we both have always stayed in our lanes. She stays in her lane, I stay in mine. There's no lane to stay in. We just both mind our business and do our thing. We both have always known we have sat on different sides of the fence when this, as far as this case goes, right? Uh, she and I have had pretty good discussions on evidence, time frames, what just came out in a document, or whatever. Um, but we've never seen eye to eye on this case. And I've always said that was okay. If I said she's going a little hard at the families, yeah, indeed. Because I think you can argue your case about Brian Koberger without being upset about what the families are doing. Because do they really matter, right? I mean, in the law part of it, that you're going after, you're attacking that. So what, they even have their opinion means what, right? Let them be. Go, let them have their opinion. So that's where I sit with that, and I always will. Outside of that, it's like, y'all do you. So there's going to be, we can't change what's out there, but we can change the way it's got to be done. You can have different opinions, I think, and sit on different sides of the fence with it. And you can believe, I guess, the guy's completely innocent. But do you have to go like all angry, right? Or real life, or hateful at people, and not have a conversation as to why you feel that way? It's all so crazy, y'all. Let me see if I can, what happened to that video? I don't know, Aspen. We may have to like move past you for a minute. What is going on here? Hold on one second. Now let me adjust this. What do I have here? Oh, I don't know what that means. It's like I got a weird notification. That was funny. I'm like, what are you talking about? Weird notification. Okay. So I wonder if Grayson got her media pass today. Remember, I told y'all she was waiting on it. She said that there was some kind of fiasco had happened, and they had to get it. This one right here. Oh God, Gary Ricardo. We may have to come visit you in just a minute. Let's go see what he said in a minute, because I'll be all tired of this guy here in just a second. Connor Aspen. Okay, unmute. I had them muted. Let me unmute them. It's not nice to come out here and pretend you know all these things. Hang on. Is that sharing? There we go. And for him to act like that, if y'all watched that Brian Enton interview with Cyree, it's really, he gave Cyree and the family a platform to just have a conversation, right? And he sat there and observed and took notes, right? And so it was pretty wild. The format, the way it was just like organic. It just was what it was. And these guys, so everything he took from that interview, he's sitting here acting like he knew. And why would people do that is beyond me. It's like Lauren going out there and telling stories with the way she tells them. Right? The way Lauren tells a story is 1,000% on purpose. It's acting. It is part of her, not business or persona, her image, right? The way she wants to present, she's packaged herself to her audience, right? They expect this storyteller, and only she can bring you exactly what it felt like. You got to feel that impact. It's not enough to hear the testimony. That is not enough. You had to be in the courtroom to feel the emotion of that father when the 911 call was played and that gut wrenching screaming. You know, she's that's sick, lady. It's not great storytelling because you can tell the story without acting like, and she got that little depressed sound going on with it. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? That long drawn out, and it's just fucking sick and is an act because she doesn't always talk like that. Only when she's telling stories, cute little stories, like sitting in a bed rocking for a long time and having Grayson capture it on camera so we don't forget.
You know, sperm, but
Yeah.
just fluid, just anything. Like,
Any
You sick bastard.
right.
anything. You know, there's the ability now to find a DNA match.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And again, my point, but because I go from like one thing to the next.
Yeah. Tell me what you're leading to here.
But the other, that it led me to the thought of, and this is one thing that leads me to think that this could go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that Cy mentioned in the live today, or in the interview today, and it's something that I think is very plausible.
Okay.
It's the fact that there, with the way that they obtained Bryan Kohberger's DNA.
Yeah.
And this is something that, and again, we have Othram to thank for
Yes.
Bryan Kohberger's DNA being found.
Exactly. Yes, we do.
Not a direct.
We because it was found. We have Othram to thank because the DNA was found. No, sir. That's not how that worked. They just did some IgG stuff. What are you talking about? Idaho State Lab recovered that DNA, sir.
DNA match at first,
Mm-hmm.
but because of the way it was found, and I am in no way a genetic, DNA genealogy. I mean, we need Paul Holes here or someone from Austin.
Yeah.
But
You need Paul Holes or someone from Othram. Paul Holes don't want to talk to you, Aspen Connor Aspen.
Expert, but they, there's speculation that they, because of existing case law, that there could be an argument that could end up in the Supreme Court over whether it's constitutional or not without a search warrant.
Well,
and the way that DNA is obtained.
Right, but from what I understand, because they got it from the garbage, and it's already been proven that if the garbage is out there, it's public. They got it from the garbage.
Trisha thinks the problem is because I got the DNA from the garbage. Websleuths.com, lady? Where you go for crime and justice? Give up your DNA today? Trisha, for real? You think that's the problem, that they got the DNA out the cartilage? Like, even Connor's shocked. He's like, whoa, Trisha, lady, I'm a little appalled right at the moment. But he really don't know either. He's thinking about it. Is she right? Is that the problem?
And then they were able to get the dad's DNA and then go that's how I understood it happened. But I mean, is there something more to it that I'm not seeing here, or
Well,
what?
I think it's just the fact that that it's not that it's that there's that almost like if you look at it as a chain of custody.
Mm-hmm.
Type thing,
It's a chain of custody type thing. Why? What, sir? Explain that. Explain yourself.
it's not it's it's a little bit more fuzzy.
Okay.
And so even though,
it's a little bit more fuzzy, Trisha. A little bit more fuzzy. You wouldn't understand. It's fuzzy, Trisha.
even though the outcome may be correct, it's like when you have the burden of someone's life on your hands,
Oh,
Right.
we're talking about 4 people's lives that were taken. But when you have the burden of proving that someone was responsible, and you then have the burden to say that this person's life needs to be either incarcerated for the rest of their life or taken, that should be a high burden. I think that's an important part of our justice system.
Absolutely. And you know what? If they can prove something that shows that in this case there was some situation that was not something wasn't legally obtained, I'm all for it. But
You know how
I
many
just don't
times
see
in
it.
algebra
Are you, Trisha? Would you understand it, Trisha? Aspen's like, I don't know, Trisha. I don't know, Trisha. I don't know.
class, I knew the answer, but I couldn't necessarily show my work.
Right.
And
I
that's-
understand.
I couldn't necessarily show my work. And then he laughs. I'm a body language expert right now. Hold on. I just got to flip my switch. I'm no longer your defense attorney / prosecutor. I'm now a body language expert. This dude just told all up on himself. He probably shit his pants going, oh my God, I accidentally told on myself. Fuck. Hold on. I'm going to break it. I know it. It doesn't like when I mess with it. It's got the woo woo. Okay, stop spinning. Please stop it. For real. Hold on. Sometimes it'll catch up. Like, that shit was like, what? Aspen.
No, it's been around for, the Golden State Killer was what, 2018? So, we're almost going on a decade, but it's still the wild, wild west of
It is, yes.
of that technology. And it's evolving so quickly that it changes so often, it's hard to even catch up with it to where you could create law on it. And so I feel like, there are question marks. And yes, I can logically say, yes, this person's guilty. This person, I think Brian Koberger is 100% the killer. But, the legal system and logic aren't always the same.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
And
no,
so
you're right.
I feel like, and this is something that I feel like I appreciated that Cy brought out today, is that he's like, look, I think this is a long shot, but if no one's telling you as family members of the victims to at least be aware of this and be prepared, then you're not getting the right information.
Gotcha. Hold on. I want to bring this up here.
Hold on.
Lily Gray says it was in a private gated community, though. Maybe that's it. That could be it. And Jesse Roblin, I love.
Holy shit. For real. Oh my God. They just did not sit there and try to have that argument, Trisha. And you're like, that's it. That could be it. That could be it. That garbage was got because they were in a gated community. That could be why this whole case could be in trouble. Jesus Christ almighty. That issue was debated for an ungodly amount of time. When the world found out they obtained that DNA sample from the neighbor's garbage can, after observing Brian Koberger sneaking over to the neighbors in the dead of night to drop his Ziploc bagged DNA over there. But when they got into his own parents' garbage, they could only get DNA from one male source, his dad, right? DNA from the Q-tip matched what came back on the tree to the dad. The DNA to the profile from the sheath, the probability, and all the things. Is the dad of the person on the sheath. Well, the person on the sheath, their DNA went in the Koberger garbage because the person on the sheath was taking his garbage next door and putting it into that can in a Ziploc bag. But it was all at the curtilage in the gated community. Did not matter. In fact, they coordinated with the garbage company because they know rolling in like the feds wasn't going to cut it, Trisha. There was Pennsylvania, they were Idaho. The feds had to assist. Pennsylvania State Police. They couldn't roll in like the cops. We're going to take your garbage today, okay? Fuck you. No, Trisha. They went in and picked up the garbage And then they drove away with it and went and met the cops and gave it to the cops. It's in the documents in the Idaho 4 case that have been way back in the case file. You're welcome, Trisha. And Aspen Connor, Connor Aspen. Put your weird fucking drink down, dude. What's in it?
Jesse, she always brings up the best points. Says it's not about how it was acquired, from what I've heard about it.
Yeah.
So, okay, but let me ask Jesse. Jesse, what was it then? If it wasn't about how it was acquired,
yeah, almost.
Say again.
I believe it has to do almost with like an invade. It's almost like the argument over there being geo like that, when they like take everyone's phones from the same place,
Right.
an invasion of privacy, and they crack down on that.
Well, that
Oh my God. Oh, holy uninformed. Holy uninformed. I was not prepared for all that. I don't know what to do. Oh God. He don't know it was geofence he's trying to describe. And they are completely unfucking aware of the IGG in this case is the problem. Knock knock FBI, we're gonna take it from Othram. Done all they can do. They don't got enough DNA in their databanks yet. Because Web Sleuth hasn't helped enough today, Trisha. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Trisha, how come you don't know that? Trisha, you're not aware that Othram lost work to the FBI because they had to stop at their legal databases once they got to the three cousins using the DNA they got from the ISP. ISP got DNA sample developed off the sheath from single source male DNA. They got the STR. That's what you need for CODIS. Nope, no match there. Send it over to Othram, who we contract with. Look at the SNP profile from that STR. Much broader search into IGG. Because, they solve cold cases and all. They're really good at it. Really fucking good at it. Anyway, they come back to three brothers that are cousins to somebody on that sheath. That was the end of story. FBI says, okay, we'll take over from here. We got this. Now we have a problem with geofence warrants. Next up, IGG, ding, ding, ding.
could be.
Almost
That could be.
It's almost like a DNA version of that. And if I'm completely wrong, I apologize.
I bet you fucking do. Trisha, can I come on your panel with Aspen? Talk the Idaho 4 case? I think he could educate me. I'll be kind. I'll be kind and gentle. I'm nice. I don't have to cuss. Ask Joe Schmo. I can hold a completely level-headed, intelligent conversation, be the smartest motherfucker in the room, and never have to say a cuss word. Right, Megan? A perfectly well-placed cuss word is genius, says Megan Connor. Aspen Connor? Connor Aspen, Megan Connor, Connor Megan. Oh. What's happening here?
Like I said, this was like 7 a.m. this morning. I think I was and then I was like, after I texted you and Stacy, I was like, oh, it's only like 4 a.m. for Stacy. And
That's okay. Hey,
when I'm in the backyard, sometimes at 6 a.m., rare anymore, but when I do, actually school starts up soon. Oh my God. My world's about to flip. Okay, I just got nervous. I got to go buy clocks again. Holy shit. Pardon me, my PTSD just went like, hello, here we are. Oh, it's okay, girl. Calm down. It's just school for the grandbaby. It's okay. I like getting up early. But when I'm out there at 6 a.m., I have to remember, hey, my mods aren't up yet. Bless their hearts. 2 of them's asleep. It's 4 a.m. for them.
I'm
no
gonna
wonder
put
she has a migraine.
4 a.m. dude.
I'm gonna put a link up, Jesse. Jesse, I don't.
They texting each other all the time, I wonder. Lately, did it just start up again, or has it been an ongoing group text thing for like years? Long-term friendship, new source, new friendship. Lauren's like, meet my friend Aspen. Trisha's like, could I have him on the show? Stacey's like, I'm gonna need to talk to him. I'm a producer. I gotta do things. Stacy without an E executive producer. Haven't you heard? Trisha, I'll set everything up. Don't you worry. But I'll never come on panel with that guy. He's weird.
Mean to put you on the spot, but if you want to come up and explain more, Jesse, that would be oh, hold on just a second here.
Jesse coming? Jesse? Using a website that wasn't supposed to be used for IGG. Oh, Jesse. Jesse. Is that the Jesse that slept on panel? Is that the same Jesse? Oh, Connor. Look at Aspen Connor. He's like, oh, fuck, Jesse. He's like, really? IGG? Huh. He's like a damn turtle. What? He's like, IGG? Huh. That's crazy, Jesse.
She says, hold on. Using a website that wasn't supposed to be used for IGG. Okay, that I see what you're saying. Got it. And let me explain that. There has been a lot of controversy about that. That these websites didn't give permission for their site to be used to track down.
It took Jesse from chat, or Jesse's got a wrench. That's Jesse. That was Jesse on panel. Jesse, wasn't it? Oh, Morris dog mom says, oh God, it's Jesse. It's Jesse Roblins. That was the Jesse on panel at the End of the World party, right? Jesse got a little knowledge. Hey, Jesse got a little knowledge, y'all. Maybe just a smidgen. But it took Jesse to fill to clue in the host and the co-host. Oh, goodness. I like it when my mods help keep me informed, and they didn't know a damn thing about why this was anything going. They discussed that DNA shit forever. Still couldn't figure it out. Here comes Jesse to tell him what had happened. She's like, Trisha, here's what had happened.
People to find.
Stacy's not here to inform you, so I got to do it, Jesse Roblin.
To find
in the house.
Criminals. I think that's what you're talking about, Jesse. I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Aspen.
Come on.
No, I was just going to say, I'd love for Jesse to come up because Jesse is an incredible researcher and person. As is her wife. I had the privilege of meeting them in Las Vegas.
And, wonderful.
We had an interesting
Jesse's
experience
coming.
Together.
Frick, Jesse's coming.
And I was glad that they were there with me for it. But
Brooklyn. I need to make I ain't got no banners up. Anybody just joining me, don't think I'm here because I'm like, oh my God, Web Sleuths live with a great guest. Let me get some knowledge. No. We're not fans either. Brooklyn. Welcome aboard the crazy train. Choo choo. We're not fans either, Brooklyn. It's cool. You're in a safe space, Brooklyn.
I think that Jesse's knowledge.
We like your transparency, Brooklyn.
Is always invaluable, and I appreciate it. But as far as Idaho is, I've always had issues with the prosecutor in the case.
You did? Why?
How come?
Trisha. Yeah.
I feel like he had, and I'm not saying, I think from everything I know, he seems like a good man. He seems like he's.
That person's comment. Don't let it steal your joy, Bipolar Express. Maybe you should get off the internet. Your name alone is telling. Are you okay? Or you got the wrong medication like Lindsay Clancy? He says, is that a guy? That they say he admitted it and took a plea deal saying he can't appeal. End of story. I better go to bed. I'm getting mad. Laugh out loud. Why? Because they're highly misinformed, or because Koberger did it, by God, in a story. He can't fucking appeal. I'm mad. I'm livid. Dude, it's okay. It's not anything to do with you in real life. It's just a case you follow on the internet. You can set it down today. That fast. End of story.
Had a good career. He seems like he's been reputable. I feel like he may have been. I feel like the entire Moscow police department may have been in a bit over their head.
Oh shit, Jesse come to panel. Jesse come to panel. Jesse's on panel. Wait, Aspen's like, oh fuck, she's about to steal my thunder. She's about to steal my thunder. My thunder, Trisha. Trisha, my thunder. Lordy. Oh God. I'm amazed I haven't. If Trisha's got bugs so bad she has to cover up her beverage with her plastic wrap, I don't ever see bugs crawling on her walls. Like thank God. But I've noticed, like, what do you mean she's got bugs? Because I was like, why has that lady got the plastic wrap on her cup? Is it soup or like hot something? No, she's got bugs. Like, I was like, what? For real? Because I never see bugs. I'm like, damn, Trisha, I had no clue. They're only on the table? Are they only on the table? Maybe she should wipe the table off. The table we can't see. Okay, I'm lost. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked. Welcome aboard the big show at night here. What did I call this show? I forgot. Oh boy. I wonder if Jesse's really going to fill them in on the facts, right? Let's see if she's got any knowledge, y'all.
That very well could be. And Jesse has joined us.
Okay.
And again, that's something that I've experienced in other cases.
Mhm.
You know, like I think many of the officers in Delphi had the most pure intentions ever.
Right.
There were elements of that case that they were in above their heads in.
Oh, really? Really, really, really?
That very well could be the
And Trisha, that very well could be the case.
case here. But look who's here. Jesse's here. Jesse, can you explain more about what you were saying about using the websites to track down Brian?
So from what I've heard, and this is rumored, but it would align with some
Rumored.
changes that have been made in the genealogy world.
Mm-hmm.
So there are two databases that you can consent when you upload DNA to, that it can be used for investigations.
Okay.
It used to be the Wild West where there really wasn't any law. So
Right.
with the Golden State Killer, when they did that one, it was very different. There was nothing in the terms and conditions. It wasn't really something anyone ever thought about.
Mm-hmm.
But since then, it has changed hugely.
Yes.
So from what I have heard rumblings about within the genealogy community is that nothing to do with Othram per se, but
Mhm.
after them,
Oh, ho, whoa, Jesse. Jesse. She had to put that in there. That IgG, it's got nothing to do with Othram. Not our pals who need your DNA, building their DNA databank one swab at a time. It's got nothing to do with Othram. It really doesn't. But Jesse, okay. Who's it got to do with, Jesse? Who?
after they identified a profile, it sounds like a researcher may have gone a little rogue. And
A researcher from where? Othram? It's got nothing to do with Othram, but hang on, I'm onto something big. Hold on. Holy shit. Hold it. Stop the presses. Stop the presses.
uploaded that DNA profile of the relative to
Oh.
MyHeritage.
Gotcha.
My heritage. Hold on. Stand by.
Gotcha. Okay.
And because MyHeritage used to allow you to download
Hold on, Jesse. Hold on. They used to do who, what? Jesse, are you bringing, what in the world are you bringing? Hold on. I'm going to break it and I know it.
but
Mhm.
after them, after they identified a profile, it sounds like a researcher may have gone a little rogue. and uploaded that DNA profile of the relative to MyHeritage.
Gotcha. Okay.
And because MyHeritage used to allow you to download from like Ancestry or another database.
Yeah.
And
Is she accusing one of Othram's people for going rogue and illegally entering databases? Or she's saying FBI? She's like, what? Who went rogue? She didn't specify.
upload that profile.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
they have now shut that down entirely. And that's how I actually came across this. It had nothing to do with true crime. I was trying to find out because I have family members' kits on several different websites. And so I wanted to transfer a kit that I had recently had tested, and I noticed that I couldn't. So when I was doing research, all the rumblings are that someone uploaded that kit, and that was part of why they were able to identify someone so fast, was
Wow.
just because Ancestry and MyHeritage have far larger databases.
Right.
And so
that's
they
true.
would have gotten to the same conclusion, but it's about how they arrived there
Got it. Okay.
and how they got there so fast. So I don't want to say this is 100%, but it does make sense why there could have been so much controversy around it, because anyone who has uploaded their DNA to MyHeritage, not even talking about the privacy of the relative of Brian Koberger, but the privacy of every single person in that database would have been breached if they had not opted in to have their kit used for law enforcement.
Well, I don't think there's any argument with that. It's only a matter of time before the idea of privacy in that uploading is brought before the Supreme Court. I think that is inevitable. Someone will bring that case to the Supreme Court.
Right.
It will end up becoming case law.
It was the FBI who did all the uploading and going rogue. It wasn't Othram. She never clarified that part, right?
I think it's still questionable though, because when you get to open, not like the open databases, like I know when I did 23andMe years ago, I got it like as a Christmas gift, like a lot of people do. And I remember like when I signed up for it, I immediately clicked the option, because you were given the option, do you want to share your genetic DNA with open source, and there were two of them at the time. MyHeritage was one, and what's the other one? It's like my something, and it's larger, but I can't remember.
Well, there's MyHeritage, there's Ancestry, and then slightly smaller Family Tree DNA.
No, the open
Or
one.
GEDmatch.
GEDmatch.
Yeah.
Or GEDmatch. So and I was like, yeah, hell, I mean, if anyone in my family commits a crime, sorry.
Yeah, that's always been my perspective too, is if someone did something awful, sorry, you're related to me.
Yeah. So,
oh, these gullible fools. Oh, these gullible fools. If you committed a crime and you're related to me, sorry. I gave up our DNA that we share. You shouldn't have done what you did. Shouldn't have done what you did. Okay. You better hope that DNA that they found is relevant to the crime scene.
oh well, yeah. If my DNA catches you, tough.
I always joke with my friends, if you didn't get a 23andMe kit from your parents, like as a Christmas gift between like 2016 and 2020, then you might have an illegitimate child, like an illegitimate sibling that they don't want you to know about.
That could be.
What? My mama never gave me the gift about the DNA. She gave me the gift of the knowledge of my ancestors, though. My daddy never mentioned a damn thing about some DNA. He told me about his grandpa. But people in my family didn't talk about the DNA like that. I just heard stuff like you inherited it. It's in your blood. It's in your blood. Why, we understood what that meant, Connor Aspen.
Yes.
Because, that was something people didn't think about a long time ago.
Right. You're absolutely right.
But
Well,
again, like my analogy of like
But boy, it was a huge trend for everybody to start sending that DNA in. It wasn't enough to go and do your family tree, which was pretty decent and pretty cool. Like looking back at the old day records and finding your great great grandpa come from here and yonder and whatever. That part. Then it advanced into, hey, you can go one step further and upload your DNA and find the matches faster. And people had to know. They just had to know. I have to know who I am. I have to know who I am. How can I not? I cannot know who I am if I don't find out through that DNA test. You got to understand. Did you find yourself yet?
I would oftentimes in math class know the answer, but not necessarily be able to show how I got there. And I feel like that's the discord in the case legally that we're talking about right now that could end up helping Bryan Kohberger, is that if they got to the answer, but they can't prove it in a legally sound manner, it could be bad for the state.
And that's a very, very good point.
And even if it's retroactive, that,
Right.
that decision could have an effect on the case. And Cy in his interview with Brian Inton, not Bryan Kohberger, talked about how if this becomes case law, it could be then put retroactively to then include cases from before. And he said they're buying time. He said they are buying time until this is brought before a higher court that creates case law that could help Bryan Kohberger.
And
he said that Amber will absolutely fall on her sword, and that this has been in the works for a year.
Jesse, do you think that's possible, that this could be that one thing that leads to Bryan Kohberger getting a new trial?
So it's really hard because they definitely admitted at some point to the judge that there was some things that were not done properly. And that's why it didn't come into the trial.
Right.
While the defense wanted to bring up the misdeeds that were done, and they were prohibited from doing so.
Right.
It's hard because the jury found him guilty based on the evidence, and they didn't know about this. Or sorry, not the jury in this one. The plea was done based on the evidence that was put forward that they believed he would be likely convicted. He did take the plea deal. I think that his rights definitely could have been violated. However, it's hard when he does acknowledge it. So it's really, I don't know, because it is a tool, not the entirety of what the case was built on.
Sure.
Exactly.
And so I think it's actually more worrisome for things like the Golden State Killer, where it was the Wild West. But that one really, they had no permission for any of what they did.
Right.
But with this one,
why don't you ask Paul Holes, Connor Aspen, your pal Paul Holes, somebody, ask him about the work with genetic genealogy in the Golden State Killer. While you're at it, ask him how he was consulted about DNA in Delphi and what he said about it. What DNA in Delphi? Whose DNA in Delphi? Paul Holes? Barbara McDonald to the sheriff. Do you have DNA in this case? Yes, we have DNA in this case. Really? Whose?
they did
Asking for me and a whole bunch of cranky friends.
for the most part, with the one exception of that breach, but I believe that didn't necessarily change the outcome.
Well, no.
Okay.
Again, I don't think it did either. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
that what matters legally is, I mean, like just like with evidence, it doesn't matter if you have a video of someone committing a murder. If you don't have the correct chain of custody, that person can go free.
Well, yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that could be very, very,
Because
very troubling.
much like the Lindsay Clancy case, and I am not about to, as a man, comment on
What?
anyone suffering from
Maybe you shouldn't comment at all, man, Aspen, man, Connor.
Mhm.
PPP, let alone PPD, let alone PPP, because I could never understand what that feels like as a man. So
Right,
who
right.
am I to ever give an opinion on that medically? Now,
Were you over there in defense diaries giving comments and opinions? Fool. Ain't you? Jesus Christ, Aspen Connor. Here, I'm gonna screenshot your shit and send it to Trisha. I'll show you how armchair sleuths work. I'll screenshot your shit and I'll send it to Trisha. I hear she's got a Gmail account that she'll tell Stacy to remind her to check it. Won't you, Trisha? See, Aspen?
I can look at it legally, and so like I feel like the legal way to look at something is always going to be different than it is logically, morally, anything like that. And
Mhm.
you know, I know that's hard, but it's
got to be looked at legally, not morally. I know that's hard. Wow, Aspen, you've been watching my shows, dude. Aspen, are you watching me? My ego ain't that big. I seriously doubt it, but are you watching me? Are you reading my mind? Trisha, did you give him a direct pathway to my mind? You heifer. That's not allowed, Trisha.
true. Our legal system was not built on our morals.
Well, that's true. Boy, that's the truth. Well, let me ask you one other quick question. And then, guys, I have to go because I have to get up really early tomorrow. But I'll start with you, Jesse. Did you hear that what Aspen said, that that Ann Taylor is going to fall on her sword, and I guess basically say she was ineffective counsel? I mean, I find that hard to believe. Jesse, have you thought any? Hold on, Aspen, hold on. Jesse, have you had any thoughts about that?
So my
Trisha said, hold on. I'm Trisha. Fuck you, and it's my show. And I'm tired and I'm ready to go. So, by God, I got the last word. I'm Trisha. Jesse, answer her question gently now.
own anecdotal experience might actually kind of push me the other direction. I
Mhm.
don't know if it is something that is typical in the United States, but I do know someone who was represented in a court in Canada who immediately after walking out, after signing a plea agreement that they didn't really want to, but at that point it was the best choice for them without
Mhm.
having to spend a ton of money, they walked out and their attorney turned to them and said, you should file an ineffective counsel.
Really?
Yep.
That's
So-
wild.
I guess
Only time she ever heard of it was in a Canada case, Forrest. It must have been a high profile case in Canada. She knew about it. That's the only one she ever heard of. It was so huge. Oh, she don't get out much, maybe, Forrest? Lordy. She not the voice of reason, is she? Oh my God.
from my own background, I've actually
I'll quote on what goes on in Canada, ma'am.
seen
Is
attorneys
she from Canada?
recommend it to the client.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how prevalent that is in the United States, but
Not very prevalent.
it doesn't necessarily imply that there was any, what is the term? That there was anything that she did that was wrong per se, but even if she just didn't provide information in a timely manner that could have altered his decision, there are ways she can do it without.
I have an idea, Trisha. When I come on your show to discuss the case with you and Aspen, and hell, Jesse wants to come, she can come too. I'll bring you my video I made. I can bring you my video I made recently. How Ann Taylor lays out a laundry list of reasons of why she's ineffective counsel. 2 months before the scheduled trial, days before the plea deal. And then Cyree, God darn, Trisha, you won't believe it. Cyree went live on Brian Enton and laid out his theory, and it matched mine. God, it was a beautiful day.
Necessarily saying she did anything that could harm her law license, etc.
Right.
I don't know about her much on a personal level, though. I don't know what her personality is.
And I used to side-eye him, Trisha, and one time the judge called him a conspiracy theorist. And I was like, oh, that's, ouch, that's a little much, but is he? Fuck, I don't know yet. But the more I find out, I think Tipsy Turvey might be the real conspiracy theorist. I think Judge Hippler was confused that day. He smacked himself in the face so hard he got confused.
Mm-hmm.
But it did come across as very strange in the
Trisha agrees.
interview with Brian Enton, where Cy had brought up that she had continued to have a relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
AKA mother and son, almost like.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That comes across very strange.
It doesn't. And Aspen, you said,
Not mother. Don't make mother jealous by thinking they got a mother-son relationship. Oh, no. That's not good. We don't want to go there. And Taylor, don't. Is that what happened? You started. No. They're on the same team. No, y'all. He's got one mother. By God, she's not putting up with that bullshit. That's weird. That's weird. Mother's not having that crap. Fuck that. She'll whoop Ann Taylor's ass.
that she absolutely would fall on her sword. What do you mean by that?
What? Well, I don't know that. Of course, I'm not saying
That's your opinion, yes.
I'm saying that I feel like her behavior in this case does not match the research I've done.
I forgot I was trying to behave so I could get on better panels, and that so I can get interviews or something. I forgot, Trisha. I'm sorry.
On her previous professional life.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like she may have an unhealthy attachment to this defendant. And that may be because she 100% believes he's innocent.
When did you first pick up on that, Aspen? Like, for real? Like, when you watched that Cyree interview when he said it? Or did you pick up on it a year ago, or did you hear it? Someone told you? Someone told you?
And
That'd be crazy.
I'm not saying that
I
she's...
know, Trisha.
I'm not...
Fucking Trisha. So, see? Trisha's not always that crazy, y'all. She gets some things. Trisha?
saying that she is being unprofessional. She may fully be trying to fulfill her role as his advocate
Mm-hmm.
in proving his innocence, if that's what she truly believes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily reality. And I'm not accusing her of that, except she has led a very confident, professional, like, successful
He has not a clue what he's freaking saying.
career.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to disparage that at all. I'm just saying that in the last year and a half, the coverage I've seen her give Brian Koberger has been different than I've seen in the research I've done, which of course is all on a smaller basis. So it's more.
What is he talking about? And now he's thrown some research, the word research in there, and I'm still trying to follow what the hell he's even trying to say here. I get where he was going with it, but he's like, blah blah. If he can dance around it long enough, Trisha will forget about what they were talking about, and she'll go to bed.
Limited, but again, it's been a year since he pled guilty. She's not spoken publicly.
And you say they
like this has been in the works since the beginning.
and you say they have
May have been. I would like to hear the prosecutor say 100% that it was not requested by the defense that he not give his a confession.
Mm-hmm.
Because
So-
all we heard is that he said he would lie and that it would do no good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that to me is PR.
Yeah.
I want to know if that was something that the defense said, we'll take this plea deal as long as if he doesn't have, as long as he doesn't have to
Say anything else. Yes, exactly. I agree with you
And to
100%.
me, that is one of the biggest flaws in the judicial system right now, is that I feel like there is this idea with people that it's almost like a false confession. It's like, well, if I just confess, I'll get out of the room. I'll get out of the situation. We'll fix it later. I feel like there's almost this idea where they're like, if I just plead guilty, I'll appeal later.
Yeah, I'll appeal. Yeah.
Look at, and again, Alex Murdoch's not a good example because of the Becky Hill situation.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Adam Montgomery.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God. How could that?
Richard Allen is up for oral arguments in Delphi in September 21st.
Good point.
There's a female, is it Sarah?
Letitia.
Letitia Stalk.
No, Letitia. Yeah, you're right.
Letitia Stalk. Yeah.
There's
so many.
We're seeing these people now that are exercising their appeal process and being successful at it.
Yeah, and
I would
scary.
not be surprised if Brian Kohberger, one, out of transparency issues, and I said the same thing with Richard Allen.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think it's a benefit.
Transparency issues. Same thing for Richard Allen. Holy. Made me choke here. Transparency issues. Rick Allen. Transparency issues. Rick Allen. Aspen. Shut the fuck all the way up.
If it does go in front of another court, an appeal court, because if it reinforces the original court's decision, granted, these cases are very different because there was a conviction, there was a confession.
There was a conviction in Rick Allen, and over here in Kohberger, there was a confession. You mean a plea deal in Kohberger and confessions that were allowed into court that led to a guilty plea, where we slapped the judge on the back with a smile and supper's awaiting at home and I gotta get to it.
Well, there were confessions in both, but there was a guilty plea in one, and it's always good to have an overview. I think our court system should be held to the highest standard.
Oh, I agree 100%.
And that includes
Trish.
Everything should always be able to be held up to a spotlight.
100%.
If you can't put
What happened, Trish?
a magnifying glass in front of every little bit of a case and it hold up,
Did she
Mhm.
there
tired?
should be questions.
I agree with you. And if that happens,
It came out about it on his book.
How long what's she doing at the very end? Oh, you Flora 4 at the end? What is that? That looked like, was that Grayson and Lauren? What was happening? What's going on? What? What happened?
She's an old bat in a cowboy hat, reading case
What's going on?
files on a cellular phone. Coffee stain maps on the kitchen table, red string on an evidence board shown. Screens glow blue in a bifocal glare, bookmark tabs like a secret armory, whispering dates like a spell to herself. I know who you are, you want.
Is this like her outro or something? What's happening?
Outrun me.
A song about outrunning me, and you got these. What's going on, Trisha?
Flutes in the dead of night, turning every rumor into black and white.
Turning every rumor into black and white. Some subliminal shit's happening. Stop it. Stop, Trisha. She's trying to put the woo-woo on some people. No, Trisha. What in the actual fuck is happening? Because I did not know this was existence. I did not know this was... What is this? Oh, Lord. Okay, hold on.
Digging through the dirt till the truth bites back. Click, clack.
have heard her AI song about click clacking and old bats and hats, and I was making fun of it, saying, "How do you doing the fancy AI songs?" And so Simi had made me one. This is look. Does that say 1 through 19? Does she got 19 pictures in her? Or was it? What?
Riding through the forms like a desert track, chasing down the lies till the truth comes back.
How long does she keep these two up in that part of in her thing? Like why does she have why not put a web sleuth picture? Web sleuth and her DNA buddies, web sleuth and her online sleuthing group, advertising her websleuths.com and was it DNA Solves or something another?
No rest, no slack. She's coming through the wires. Better watch your back.
Oh, you better watch your back, they say over there. Web sleuths, y'all are weird. You make songs about watching your back. We make songs about booting people that are rude. And we talk about coming for the truth, but we don't like threaten people and stuff. The victims of Flora 4.
Got a fan club on a message board.
How long does she leave them up for?
Use a name flashing like a wanted sign. Little average.
Why is there a necessary? Can I ask y'all a question as a community? I don't know how much y'all consume different channels. What's the point of this long outro? Of any long outro with any show? Any long outro? What is the point? Is that what y'all like? Do people like long outros? I think people like long intros or not. I'm not sure. But outro to say bye. Does that give the chat a while to just say bye? Why? Why does she do these kind of crazy things? I can't figure it out. I don't understand the necessary point of it.
Stars in a digital posse follow every breadcrumb, every crooked line. She's got printout stuffed in a cardboard box.
Move into another video. It's like the end of where they're talking. It's like the end of where her and Aspen and with Jesse were having their chitty chat. And then it starts. It's like, I'm trying to figure out, did she say goodbye? Did she say goodbye to everybody and go to bed? Hold on. And that was
Sleuths, YouTube Live, everybody. Here we go.
Bye. Bye, Trisha.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's an old bat in a cowboy hat, reading case
Oh, yeah.
files on a cellular phone. Coffee stain maps on the kitchen table, red string on an evidence board shown.
Oh, yeah. That's her outro, baby.
Screens glow blue in a bifocal glare. Bookmark tabs like a secret armory. Whispering dates like a spell to herself. I know who you are, you won't outrun me. Web sleuths in the dead of night. Oh yeah.
Oh. Oh. Hello Kitty? What is that? Hold on. Trisha. Who is that? Is one of them Trisha? Is that Trisha? That's you, Trisha. Trisha. That's you. Wow, Trisha. Wow, Trisha.
Riding through the forums like a desert track. Chasing down.
Yes, that is Trisha's outro, y'all. You could have lived without it, couldn't we? Damn. Wow. That is just it is so weird, Morris Dog Mom. And a bunch of misinformation on top of that, right? And victims. And I was trolling YouTube earlier. Let's see. Where was it? Let me see something. Okay. Oh God, y'all. Oh God. Dr. Gary Ricardo's on the call in with the lab guy. Y'all, if y'all seen that, which one is it? Let me go show y'all which one it is. I'm going to go in a second. Let me go show y'all this video. Where's it at? Aspen Connor out there spreading misinformation and using families, right? Or claiming to know families. That's bad enough because you're not like legit bringing them out and using them in that sense. But to say and he also sat there and said didn't know Olivia, but met Steve and Christy, but didn't know them. Whatever he said there, but just even it to present it as things, right? You heard him. I've known things for a year. I would always known this. I'd always known that. I'd known what Cyree was talking about. There were things he talked about that were in past documents that we knew of, but he elaborated on so much more. And it took Trisha and her co-host, who's supposed to know the case, that long and still couldn't figure out why the DNA was even important. It took Jesse to come up there and tell them, which is even more crazy to me. I mean, it's one thing to get, corrected or somebody to be more informed than you because you haven't heard the latest or you've missed something here or there. That's what it's all about. But for that wackadoodle shit is insane. And people think that's where you go for knowledge, right? People buy into that very minimal information and they're telling you, but I know things. Because when he was put to the test and asked a couple of good questions, he word salad the shit out of it like nanos. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? He does the same thing with the Delphi case that I've observed so far. That's crazy, y'all. I don't know what to make of these streets. I don't. Let me. I'm getting tired now, y'all. 3 times today we've done this. I wanted to get those that show the ransom notes were out, right? The ransom notes were out. It's out there that Jules communicating with Koberger's sister. What that means, we don't know. We'll stay in our lane with it. Let's see. They're live right now on that channel. Is Cyree lying? Or was he lying then? Koberger, we don't know. He observed the right to change his mind later in court. And I guess he got more information. He's telling us. Yeah, there's a bunch of shows. Y'all know what? Also, that Netflix series. I've got to finish watching it. I still haven't finished all of one because I fell asleep because I know so much about the case already. There's certain things I already know and certain things I'm listening to all kind of like maybe all over again in some cases. Anyway, I'm going to relax and finish watching that over the weekend. Tomorrow, though, I am going to finish doing some deeper dives into some of the Cyree stuff because there was some interesting stuff said that I need to like really focus on and put together. Because there's about to be a big push on social media for Bryan Kohberger's innocence. And that's okay. That can be their loud voice if that's what they're choosing to seek at this point. Because trust me, when I tell you to be careful in the YouTube streets, they gauge it, they clock it, they watch it. If you don't believe me, be careful. It doesn't mean a thing. I don't know. It's just a push. What it is they know this particular account really supports Bryan Kohberger. So isn't that the perfect person to reach out to help garner more attention and like fuel that fire all over again that had died out, right? All they had to do was sit around and watch those interviews and stuff with the roommates and all the kids in Moscow. That's all there is to do. But Kohberger's like, well, I'm getting there. I got my deadline coming up, In the meantime, is he getting all these visits from Ann Taylor, possibly, allegedly? What about Turvey? What about Whitcomb? Did he get Whitcomb's book? All these things could be happening at the same time, right? We've seen Cyray's accusations up on Brian Enton, Jesse Weber. If y'all haven't seen those interviews, y'all need to watch them and just keep an open mind and go see what y'all think about things, right? Go check out opposing sides if you want to and see where you sit if you've never really looked at this case in that way. And you really want to know, make sure you're not getting duped by anybody, right? You're going to hear very different opinions, obviously, because that's how it is with every case. But the evidence is out there in the documents. I've always tried to go over the documents and evaluate what's there. And I've always said, I will always maintain, they didn't have the sheath with DNA. I don't think we would even be sitting here today, possibly not knowing who Brian Koberger is. Cyray will tell you they were going to get there anyway. One thing about Jules that she pointed out, okay, let me hold on, because I'll tell you, this girl knows her. One thing you can say about Jules, she knows this case. Don't come at her with a fact that she can't talk to you about, right? Now, because there was something he said, and I was like, huh, and I keep saying it, and I think they think I've lost my mind. Hold on, let me go see if it's up there. Where did I? She also, well, never mind. Is it this one? Let me see, because I hadn't seen nobody else, and I just happened to see it because I went to look to see about the sister engaging conversation. Yeah, it's okay for content creators to speak to family members if that's what everybody chooses involved. That's okay. Y'all do you. Just be safe out there. Right here, this post 1 day ago. Email proofs in the email. Did somebody get an email? Did Trisha get an email? It may or may not get checked. I don't think it was to Trisha though. Was it to Brian Enton? Hold on, Brian Enton, will you investigate? All right, 1 day ago. Jules says, at Brian Enton investigates, why would you not correct Cyray about the 1129 WSU car sighting, Koberger car sighting? I don't know, Jules. Your colleague Anjanette Levy, is that her name? Interviewed the short for long crime, that lady. Your colleague Anjanette Levy interviewed the chief of police, who said it was not sent to MPD, meaning Moscow Police Department. She says, your colleague Anjanette interviewed the chief of police, who said it was not sent to MPD. We have proof in emails. You just let him tell Stephen Olivia that it was. Man the F up. Oh, don't talk to Brian like that. All you had to do was send him proof in the email or address him kindly. He would have looked into it. Now that nonsense, that aggressive behavior is not necessary, ma'am. That aggressive behavior is not necessary sometimes. Lauren might call you unhinged on the internet one day. She's a vicious one. She says we are, but I don't know if she even knows who you are. She's not wrong there in that post, though, guys. That's why I went there. That's why I went there, because Jules ain't wrong. It's not too many times I've ever seen Jules wrong, honestly, about facts. The way we interpret facts sometimes may be different, I guess I could say. The best way to put that. But yeah, that's true. I'm just waiting on people to pick up what we're putting down, Jules. IGG, 1 day, big battle with the Supreme Court. Why, Cy, if they were on to Koberger anyway? It wouldn't even, it'd be irrelevant. Irrelevant, sir. Anyway, stay tuned, y'all. Big social media push coming your way. Be safe on them streets. Maybe, yeah, right. He's, yeah, what is it? Well, I don't know, Rachel. He's totally against anything what Ann Taylor's got to say or Turvey. He'd have to work with, like, because this is appellate, right? So it's going to be fought before the state, of Supreme Court. It's not going for the U.S. Supreme Court or anything like that. It's just a U.S. appellate, Idaho appellate thing. So would he work for like the appellate people? You know what I mean? For the state side? I don't know what he probably does know a lot more. Does he just know a lot more basically about all the evidence? Hell yeah, Rachel. He knows a lot more than we know about the evidence part, right? I could get behind that. But yeah. Now we know Turvey said he wanted to be a part of a appellate team. That was his goal. He said he expects to be called during the appellate process for the defense that he worked for during the trial part. People he worked for to defend, he expects when they get convicted, he'll get called during their appellate process. So that's Koberger, right? That we didn't get trial though. That part's different. Turvey, you're weird. He doesn't think we're picking up what he puts down, but we do. Oh, these people are predictable in some ways, y'all. They totally are. But you never know what's coming sometimes either, where the line of attack's coming from, how it's done, at what angle. You have those custody queen girls who wrote in on Dylan Mortensen like a song, and they ain't look back, and it's all Dylan, Dylan, Dylan. Jules is real big mad at the family, Stephen Christie. Had never made it a secret. Never. In fact, it's pretty aggressive at times, right? But come on, man, that's their daughter kind of thing. It's weird. Y'all, did Seth finish up his live for everybody to go review if they want? We're going to go in just a second. I'm tired. My mods are probably give out too. We've had an exhausting week, y'all, because it's not just the hours we've kept, it's the weight of what we've been doing on top of those hours, right? During those hours. What we've been doing during those hours and taking in's been a lot. Jeez. A lot. Y'all try to let it all go till Monday. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. They're still live. Get what's going on over there? Oh, Seth. For real? Whoa, Seth. He just said the Cajun Navy couldn't do their job because the minute they got into town, JLR went live and called them the fake Cajun Navy. Whoa. Is that what happened? What's he talking about? Hold on. Don't get mad, Seth. We want to find Sebastian more than anything. I hope y'all are talking about that. Because Tennessee State Police could have coordinated with Cajun Navy if they really wanted to conduct a thorough search. Kind of like when they wanted to help look for Nancy Guthrie. Notice the state never offered to work with them, nor did the county or anybody. They never do. And they blame other things for it. Yeah, notice that. Don't miss it.
There's a lot, but there's not a rule book for this. I mean,
Occasionally they'll get in a good one and find a kid or two and brag about it for a minute. You won't hear shit for a long time.
there are some creators that I wish I had never even went up on their panel. Would I?
Oh, what kind of conversation are we having here, Seth? I need to hold on. I don't want to do, is he still alive? Fuck. I want to hear this.
I changed what I did, not knowing what I was doing. You know, no, no. I mean, there's some creators that I wish I wasn't associated with at the beginning, but the fact is that social media is one of the easiest ways to get out that somebody is missing.
Right.
And YouTube, Facebook, X. I mean,
One thing I've noticed, Seth is different. I noticed it with the last live he did. I can get past the chicks he's got on the fucking panel. It is what it is. It's Sebastian Rogers' case, y'all. God. The dad matters to me, not the bitches on the ladies on the panel. The parents matter to me. Their demeanor, their disposition, the things they say, the way they carry themselves, conduct themselves, how they handle themselves going forward once the trauma gets better. And where are they now? What are they saying now? How do I feel about them now? I don't know yet.
they all have to be utilized for the proper purpose.
What are some of the good resources that you came across or that you found to be helpful to you that maybe somebody would? I hate that anybody's in that situation, but I think Smiley's got a good question there.
I mean, your best resource, your child went missing. So you should be able to rely on the agencies involved. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to rely on them because as soon as I found out about the DCS records, then I knew that they had already been involved and they didn't do anything. And then, knowing that they didn't do anything,
All right, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to stream sets live. That's ridiculous. That's not nice. But anyway, I just wanted to see if they were still alive. Huh. That's crazy. So I'm going to go check that out later. I don't know if I'll do it right away. I got to detox from this space for a minute. Y'all know what I mean? Yeah, it's late. Let's get ready to go to bed. All right, guys, I thank y'all for coming in and hanging out with me and getting this update tonight. We said that the ransom notes are out in the Guthrie case. I wonder if because it's the 6-month anniversary, right? Or not anniversary. That's really the fucked up way to say it. It's 6 months since Nancy Guthrie has been missing. And Savannah had the video recently, the the Instagram the other day. Sheriff starting to do some interviews, right? And now he's released the full ransom notes. Is it really to generate more tips again, to get eyes back on the case again, to get people reinterested again for the right reasons again? You know what I mean? All the things. It's the right thing to do. It's that 6-month mark, right? Is that what all this is coming down to? Because there's nothing you could pick from that that's going to say, oh, that's my brother or my cousin or my sister's husband, right? Like nothing. That's wild. And we've learned that Kohberger's sister has been in contact with a creator here on YouTube, Jules of All Trades. She's a big supporter of Brian Kohberger, and that's okay. Y'all just take it easy on the family. There's no need to go there, for real. We're not coming for his family. I never would. If Brian Kohberger's family had ever chose to speak out at any point during this time, I never would have come at those people. Even if they had come out, if Mother had came out and straight up told the media, my boy didn't do it, I would have been like, oh, Mother, okay, damn. You know what I mean? But whatever. In the end, it don't matter. What matters is what goes on in that courtroom. Can we leave the families alone when it real legit comes down to it? Isn't that what we all believe in? So, but it is what it is. All right, everybody, y'all go have a great night, and I'll see y'all when I see you. Good night, everybody.
Thank you all for watching this here video. Please like and subscribe and follow. Much love from Little Yas to